Do
I
you
was.
do you want to give us a quick recap of the events of last week?
Alright, so we spoke to the Knolls tribes, and they agreed to move to a village between Candle and Curtle, and cultural exchange and a cultural exchange, so they could have their own place but still interact with people easily. We also ran into 4 shadow demons, and that took up most of the session.
Yeah, you. I believe you were ambushed on the way to Highguard, but you did manage to defeat the shadow demons, and I think that's where we ended.
Did one of them know Keller's name? I'm just suddenly remembering.
Yeah, one of them did.
I believe
Okay.
so. Yeah, it seemed like they were actively seeking your group. It wasn't a chance encounter, which made you think that, yeah, maybe someone is after you. The heroes of Char. Did we ever agree on a new name?
Nope.
All right, so we are the heroes of Char for now. But yeah, I believe you were going to continue traveling to Highguard to look for Matt Hell. You were kind of
Yep.
mid travel. So let's see. It is the 44th of winter. It's 6 p.m. when you had the encounter. Now, I think you had defeated them, you had searched them. Did anyone collect essence from them?
No.
Alright. Does anyone want to do that? They are
Yes.
they are a devil, or no, they're demons, so they can give essence if you have well, you can use Arcana or Alchemy to collect their essence.
Oh wait, have we
What do
ever
you
fought Shadow Demons before? Because I actually do see it in the.
I don't think
In
so.
the,
So if you have the essence, you probably collected it already then.
yeah, it looks like we got 80 Maho.
Okay, so yeah, we probably had done that.
did we have a long rest after the battle?
No, there was no rest. We just kind of ended after the battle. And I assume you're going to continue traveling to Highguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So the rest of the trip doesn't take too long. That was kind of 2/3 through the trip. And you would arrive at the settlement of Highguard around 8 p.m. in the evening. The settlement is mostly housing, some farms, and kind of a secured area with a barracks where some of the Candleholm troops are stationed to keep an eye on the population
I thought we
here.
were going to High. Oh, yeah, Highguard. Sorry, ignore me.
Yeah, no, you're going to Highguard.
Because you said Candle, I was like, wait, what?
Oh, well, yeah, but Highguard's part of the Candleholm community. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay.
So, just like Last Light is too. It's all sort of different parts of Candle. Candle's like the main
Okay.
area, but they're all like, I'm not sure what the word would be.
Candle's the capital, and Highguard and them that are like the second towns. Got ya.
Yeah, sort of. Although it's not like an empire, it's more just like
No. Yeah. Well, it's the biggest trading. Yeah.
municipalities type thing. All right, so yeah, what do you all want to do now that you've arrived at Highguard? I don't actually have a map for Highguard. It's not a very large area.
What's the time again that we've arrived?
It's about 8 p.m. in the evening. So the sunstones in the cave are showing moonlight at this point, and it's kind of dark.
Do we maybe want to find a tavern to rest in and then scout out Matt L's jewelry thing tomorrow?
Yeah, great minds. That's what I was thinking.
All right, so you can find accommodations without too much trouble. Do you want me to just pass time for the evening, or are you going to do anything at the tavern?
I was going to see if we could get any info about like just Matt L and his jeweler thing, like if it's well known, if it's respected, any of that stuff.
Alright, so the tavern in Highguard isn't too busy. Sort of a normal amount of evening of evening business. There's a bard playing, but there's not like a lot of people drinking or anything. It's sort of a subdued environment. And your group is not well known here, or at least doesn't seem like they are, because no one's really coming and talking to you or like offering to buy you drinks like would happen at Candle.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume the group is just gonna kind of take a table and start talking to people.
I will ask the barmaid because barmaids are always good for knowing secrets, overhearing stuff.
All
Or
right.
barmaid, barman, one of the two.
So you approach one of the servers. We'll say it is a sort of a young adult, maybe like early 20s gentleman, who is serving some of the tables. As you walk up to him, he says, "Ah, yes. What can I help you with, sir?"
I would first like spring water with ice and information on a Matt L.
It's Matt Hell. He thinks for a moment. He says, "I don't think I know anyone by that name. Are they a regular here?"
I have no idea. Hmm.
He says,
Tell me,
go ahead.
who is the who is the nosiest person in town? Who's the busybody?
Oh, that would have to be a fellow by the name of Boris. Boris,
Oh,
Boris is often spreading rumors and talking to people at the inn. I assume you mean at the inn here.
yes. The nosiest man or person in Highgard
He
is
smiles. He
Boris.
says, probably, yeah, Boris Yelman. Yelman is his last name.
Very well.
Because
Bring
he's
sandwiches
actually,
and drink.
he's sort of, he's like one of your folk, one of the smaller folk. I believe he's either a gnome or a halfling. I always get those two mixed up. My apologies.
Hmm. Very well. Please bring drinks and sandwiches to our table.
Oh, of course, right away. And,
I'll head back to the group.
all right, so you head
So,
back.
um, so Fisher, I asked the barman, doesn't know himself, but the nosiest man in Highgard is a man named Boris Yelman. If anybody knows anyone, it's a nosy bastard.
Great. Sounds like we have a little lead. Good work, Arlen.
Possibly.
Do we know where Boris lives, frequents? Can you find that out?
Did he actually tell me, or did I get that information? Or
He
did I forget?
said he was someone who dropped by the bar a lot. But
He's a regular here.
yeah, he didn't tell you where he lives.
We'll ask him when he brings us the sandwiches.
All right.
Wait a minute. You got sandwiches.
I got us sandwiches.
You really shouldn't be eating sandwiches in Highgard. Like, it's not the best food.
It will do.
All right, you tell your stomach that when you're sitting on the toilet at 6 o'clock in the morning, fucking everything coming out.
So you would notice as you're kind of sitting here talking. Let's see. Keller, I guess, would notice that Claw and Fisher are getting a lot of looks from the other people at the bar. Probably because they look the least normal out of everyone here.
So not the 3 foot halfling. I totally in place.
No, halflings are uncommon, but they are not unheard of at these settlements.
Yeah,
like you've seen halflings.
Yeah, I entirely forgot. Highguard's not a very cosmopolitan place. They're not used to a lot of different people. Like, it's predominantly halflings, humans. I mean, if I'm honest, if they have an elf visit, it's rare. So yeah, they're going to be looking at Fisher and Claw very oddly.
I forget.
I'm,
Sorry.
I
I'm,
forget what.
I imagine
I
a
forget what.
fire will stand out like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah, definitely Genasi. Genasi are extremely rare. Shifters are less rare because they do sometimes show up because of the tribe or tribes in the area, but they're still pretty rare.
Well, learning that, I think Fisher's probably going to go over to the nearest table and ask if they've ever seen a man made of fire walking the streets.
All right, so you walk up to some of the people who are drinking, and yeah, I'm definitely getting echoing from someone again. It's Arlen, so you might have to do push to talk, Arlen. I don't know if like your web mic is picking it up or your but something's picking it up.
It should be, but
I'll keep an eye out in case anyone else is echoing, but yeah, you're lighting up every time I talk. And you guys are hearing that echo, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
not
maybe
hearing
just-
the echo, but I do see their mic picking it up.
Okay. All right. So anyway, you go up to a table. There are a couple of men sitting there speaking. They kind of go quiet as you walk up, maybe a little bit nervous as you, again, are a lot different looking from everyone else. And you ask them about a fire genasi. Give me a persuasion or charisma if you don't have persuasion.
Before I do that, I'm going to ask them what they're drinking and buy them all a drink.
Oh, all right. Well, then, as you call one of the servers over to buy them all a drink, they seem to get a little less worried. Go ahead and make that roll with advantage.
Cool.
And make sure you're living at least comfortable for your expenses tonight.
Okay.
23. So one of the guys says, flaming, huh? No, I can't say I have. He looks to his friend and he shrugs. He says, "No, most people around here look like us, or I mean, some look like your friend over there." He points at the halfling, but can't say I've seen a flaming person walking around town in Highguard. He says, "Do you know his name?"
Matt Hell.
And the guy says, "Matt Hell." And the lady with him says, "Oh, that's that jeweler." It's like, "Oh, yeah. Okay." Says, "Yeah, I didn't know his name, but yeah, there's a jeweler. He's not flaming though. He looks normal. He looks like all of us."
Huh.
She nods.
That's not what I've heard.
And she says, "Yeah, no, maybe it's I mean, it might be a coincidence that they have the same name, but yeah, no flaming Mad Hells as far as I know." She says.
What do they look like?
I don't know. He's pretty normal, average sized. Nothing too remarkable about him. She would describe him. I don't think you've seen Matt Hell, so you're not sure what he's supposed to look like. But it doesn't sound like a flame genasi from the description.
No, that is confusing because we were told by a less than trustworthy.
Do you have
merchant.
Arcana knowledge training?
I don't.
Okay.
That's like fourth or fifth time you've asked me this question, and I really wish I did have it now.
No, I'm always
Very important to my character.
I will always ask about skill training questions just because things might pop up. But yeah, it's not just Arcana, but Arcana does pop up a good amount because of magic stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, she says, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe there's another Matt Hell that you're looking for that we haven't met, but the only one I know of is a jeweler."
feel like a flaming person in High Guard or a fire genasi would have stood out. Um, hmm,
Give me
maybe
an
he's
untrained Arcana check, actually. You might know something. So, you know that there are magical spells that can change one's appearance to look like different things. It's possible that there could be some kind of spell that Mad Hell is using to hide the fact that they're a Genasi, probably to make business easier.
hmm,
And at this
he's a
point,
smart one.
their drinks all come and they thank you and say, "Well, have a good evening, sir, and I hope you find this Matt Hell."
Enjoy your drinks.
All right. So, what are you gonna do?
Um, I think Fish is gonna head up for the evening and go into the room and ask to find Familiar and get Del Boy back on the scene because he's gonna need his help once he tracks down Matt Hell. But I think I'm gonna say to the rest of the party we should probably try and find this Boris chap.
Or he could be a regular here. We could wait or
We
speak to
could wait.
the waiter.
Yeah, I mean, can I just double check at the table where exactly Matt Hill stations himself? If he has a shop somewhere or a car.
The lady says, "Yeah, he's a jeweler in town. I mean, he hasn't been in here long, but he has some really nice pieces. Pretty expensive.
I'm
Nothing.
sure he does.
Yeah." She says nothing I can afford, but he hasn't been here too long. I think he got to town like a couple of weeks ago. And the guy nods, something like that.
We can just find him down on the market.
He says, "Yeah, well, he has a whole shop, and yeah, you could probably find it down in the market if you look into and she'll give you an address. I'll say."
Oh, okay. How far away is it from the tavern?
It is not too far, though it's probably closed at this point.
Hmm. Further than 100 feet away.
Yeah, probably more than that.
Okay. Yeah. Fish is gonna head up, get some rest for tomorrow,
All right.
and prepare.
Is anyone else doing anything at the tavern tonight? Otherwise, I will say time is passing. So your
I,
yeah.
at a certain point, as it gets later and later, I'm going to wait for Boris to turn up, and if Boris doesn't turn up, I'm then going to go for a wander around High Guard to see if I can find the jeweler's shop.
All right. How are you gonna identify Boris? Because you just know his name.
I thought we knew he was a halfling.
That's okay. That's true. So you're just looking for a halfling to show up. That's not Aryan.
I'm kind of waiting
Harlan?
for him to turn up unless he goes up to the bar for someone to mention the name, because if he's a regular, the bar person would know and like be like, "Hi, Boris." That's what I'm waiting for.
Alright, so you're kind of keeping an ear out for his name and looking for a
I'm not
halfling.
really drinking because I need to, so I can stay perceptive.
Alright, so quick question, Fisher. You do have the 10 GP worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs for this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So yeah, you go up to your room. You would kind of spread around the magical ingredients as they would be taken by the spell, and your little imp will appear again with his arms crossed. He's very unhappy. He says, yeah.
This time, when I summon Del Boy, I'm gonna ask that he takes the form of a sprite, I believe.
Oh, okay, sure. So you'll summon him as a sprite. He's still a
Did he
little
call
bit
you
on. Or go ahead.
See, did he call you a plonker for getting him killed?
He's a little bit upset that he got killed, yeah. That's why he has his arms crossed.
Fisher, you plonker.
Blocker. Yeah. So let's see. Keller. You're pretty good passive perception. So you do see a couple of halflings come in as it gets later. And sitting at the bar, you would hear one of them be referred to as Boris, as he is buying himself some ale. And he would immediately start talking about someone's wife who he saw with someone who he shouldn't have been with. Sounds like some kind of gossip he's starting.
Does it seem like people around him are paying attention to him, or they're all annoyed at him and trying to get him to go and bother someone else?
What's your insight?
Passive, I think, is 17.
Alright. So it's kind of a combination. Some people seem annoyed by him, others are enjoying the juicy gossip. He's got 3 guys with him in particular who are kind of drinking, and they're having a back and forth about all the daily rumors in Highguard.
Okay.
And I assume, Claw, you're just still kind of hanging out and drinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
just kind of keeping an eye out on people, but nothing like
Hey,
too
Claw,
intensive.
Yeah.
you're an intimidating person.
I've been told.
Trust me, you are. What do you think would be the best way to try and get into their 3-way conversation?
Off of bars and drinking, getting completely sloshed. He'll tell us what he wants to know.
I mean, you can always just insert yourself. That's by far the easiest. But if you're trying to be, I guess, more secretive about it, kind of just go stand near them. I'm not the best at keeping myself hidden.
I'll just go and talk to them and ask them to join us for a brief moment.
You can, yeah, go do that if you want.
I'll head out. Jesus, are you, what's his name?
Boris Yelman.
Are you Boris Yeoman?
He seems surprised as you kind of come up. He says, fellow halfling, come join us, friend. And yes, I indeed am Boris Yelman. You've heard of
I
me.
am, well, only briefly. I am Aaron Freespell, the sorcerer and researcher of Special Melody. I'm sure you've heard of me as well.
I'm sorry, I haven't. Are you new in town?
Recently, my friend and I were looking for. We'd like you to join us for 5 minutes. We have some questions that we are sure you can answer. There's a free drink in it.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion. Persuasion.
He says, sure, if there's a free drink, I'll be happy to join you. And he looks over, sees your group and says, you all look very serious. Pretty heavily armed.
We are. Ignore them, they're mere pseudocasters.
I'm not armed. I don't have a weapon on me at all.
I think he was looking more at Claw.
No, wait, no, that I'm just saying that sarcastically.
This is my friend Claw, and this is my acquaintance Arla.
Keller.
So my friend. Eh?
My name's Keller.
Keller. This is Keller, and this is Fisher.
Oh, Fisher is upstairs and upstairs in his room, so it's just Claw and Keller. So yeah,
Keller is Keller the one looking for
no, that's Fisher.
No, that's Fisher.
So
Uh,
he,
Keller,
like I said, he seems kind of nervous as him and his friends walk over, but they take a seat, nodding at the others. He introduces himself and his two friends, and would say, "Good to meet all of you."
you too. My friend is looking for information on a person we're looking for.
Oh, and who might that be? I know everyone in town, I assure you.
Keller, do I take it from here?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Hello, I'm Kala. Uh, it's so a pleasure to meet you. I don't get to see a lot of halflings in Candle. Uh, but so we're looking for someone called Matt L. He's apparently a very well-known jeweler here.
Says, yes, I know Mattel. He indeed is quite well known. He's come into town recently and has stolen the scene with his extremely well-made gems, or well crafted. I'm not sure what is it called when you make
Just
gems.
go well-crafted.
Yeah, but his pieces are worth quite a lot to some of the higher up, or to some of the more well-off merchants in town.
Yes, no, I've heard that, and we've been hearing a lot of things about him in Candle, and as such, I've come here to looking for a present for my mother. Um, just so I have an idea of where he lives and who to look out for, because I've heard a lot of different stories. Of one person told me who'd bought an item off him that he was a fire genasi. I've never seen one, so I thought that'd be interesting. But
So,
now that I'm here, someone said that he is a human.
as you say that, you notice he almost gets excited when you say you heard he's a fire genasi, and says, "Well, that's quite something." You know, I heard a rumor. And he says, which might be of interest to you if you want to know more about Matt
Oh,
Hell.
yes,
He
no,
lowers his
definitely.
voice, looking around, and says, not many people know this, but a young woman who came into the shop a little early one time, who I know very well. She spent more than one evening with me. I'll just say that. But
Mm.
she claims that when she walked in, as you say, he was partially on fire, and became a bit upset by the fact that she kind of startled him, ran into the back, and then came back looking normal. So that would go along with what you're telling me, that he is actually some sort of fire being. I assume that's what a fire genasi is.
Honestly, I've never seen one, so I wouldn't know.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna go with what you just said because it sounds right. Like, yeah, definitely. Out of curiosity, this woman, what time did she go to his shop?
Oh, it was very early in the morning. In fact, he shouldn't have even have been open. My thought is that he accidentally left the door open, and he was actually some kind of demon. And there have been uh, some some sayings around town that that's why he's able to carve gems as well as he can, because of some kind of demonic abilities.
I mean, that would just make them more, as provided they're not sucking your souls out, that would just make them much more valuable to their travel.
He would look at Claw and he would say, "Is she some sort of demon as well? Or is there like a
No,
hair? Is she a hair genasi? Is that a thing? I don't know much about
no,
what you
no,
are."
no. She's a shifter. She's a very good. Shifters are very good out in the wilds and exceptionally intelligent people.
So I don't know much about the world outside of the outside of Candle. That would make sense. My apologies if I offended, young woman. He says, but back to Matt Hell. I can't say much more about him than that rumor, other than, of course, his pieces are sought after by those with money. As he's drinking the drink, I assume you bought him.
Is there anybody who knows him, who's been friends with him the most, or knows him well?
No, he's pretty new in town. I mean, he has some he's made some friends with some of the more well-off merchants because of his pieces, but I don't know if there's anyone he's really close to.
Did he come into town with anyone, or was he just on his own?
Give me another persuasion check.
Okay.
Says, my drink's running a bit low. There was a new type of ale here that I was very interested in trying. It's a little bit more expensive, but, being that I'm giving you all this information, I was hoping you could buy me some.
Yes, no, definitely. Give me one moment, and as I get up, sorry, I won't even bother trying to be swindling. I'll ask the barman, how much is that new ale that he's after?
Alright, so he actually wants something fairly expensive. So you would have to live wealthy tonight to be able to afford it.
Okay. Yeah, I am buying that. I ain't buying him that. He's not giving us anything that useful. I want to see if I can. So I'm gonna get up to go to the toilet. I'm gonna ask the barman to just give us the shittiest beer and pretend it's the good one, and I'm gonna give the barman an extra gold just to play along.
Give me a persuasion check at disadvantage. Actually, it'll just be a wash, so just normal persuasion.
I'm gonna bump in a psionic die, which is a D8.
Okay, so 17.
17.
So yeah, as you're doing this, your mind kind of pulses a little, making your attempt more effective than it would normally be. He laughs. He says, "That's kind of mean, but also that guy kind of annoys me. So sure." And he says, 5 gold pieces though.
All right, cool.
So you slip him 5 gold, and he nods, and
Yeah.
we'll get the shitty drink, and then I guess put some blueberries in it and mix it up. And then you bring it back to him.
So the barman's gonna give it him because it'll be like he's.
Send the server over. All right.
Yeah.
El resumen que no esperabas, pero sé que necesitabas.
Oh. Apparently the barman speaks Spanish.
Spanish.
So the server will come over with the drink, and Boris will get all excited, and he says, "Oh, I've always wanted to try this." And he takes a swig of it, and he says, "Huh, a little disappointing. It doesn't taste much better than some of the normal stuff, although I do like the blueberries." What was I talking about?
You were going on about if anybody came with Mattel.
Oh, right. There was a young woman with him. I assumed it was his wife or lover. I don't know, but I don't know much about her. I don't see her around the shop much, but she does drop in every now and then while he's selling his wares and talks to him.
Do you know where she lives at all?
She says, "No, actually, I haven't tried to follow her or anything. I'm not a creep, but no, I don't know much about who she is or where she is." He takes another sip of the blueberry ale.
And out of curiosity, Mattel, you just said you thought this woman was his girlfriend or his wife, but have you thought he's had any affairs with this woman you thought was his wife or girlfriend? Has he cheated on her at all? Is there any side bits we should know about?
He says, "Well, there is this one woman who comes in a lot, and she is really flirty with him, and he talks a little bit about this woman. You aren't sure he is being completely truthful. He might just be making this up as a story with your passive perception."
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Can I get him to tell me where the shop is?
Yeah, so he'll give you the address, which kind of matches with the one that you got from the lady.
All right, cool. I'm gonna be like, thank you so much. That was so useful.
Oh, of course, anytime. I have plenty of juicy gossip if you are curious about anyone else in town.
That will be something I will very much keep in mind. Thank you. Right.
So he will raise a glass or raise his mug to you and go back over to the bar. The bartender now has a bit of a grin on his face.
I'm going to go and do a little bit of snooping now. So I don't know what you two want to do. Claw, Arlen, what would you two want to do? I'm gonna go snoop.
So I guess Keller is just gonna get up and take off. Yeah, what or I get so yeah. Would you answer him if Keller is asking you what you're gonna do?
I'll probably just stay here. I don't know this area too well.
It's Claw's first time
Arlen,
in High
you're-
Guard.
Arlen, you're muted as well if you're talking.
Oh yeah, Farland.
Right. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Said I will snoop with you.
Okay. Right, Claw, how about you just arm wrestle a bunch of them and make a lot of money?
I mean, if anyone's willing, yeah.
Oh, trust me, you're a terrifying woman. There's plenty of men in here that will do it just to boast.
It doesn't look like anyone is having arm wrestling competitions. You could always ask around though.
Before we go, we're gonna get it started. Hey, Harlan, let's get an arm wrestling competition started for Claw.
Indeed.
All right. So you're trying to goad some people into
Yes.
getting into a competition. Give me.
The biggest dickheads, the boastiest guys, the ones that look like the macho idiots, all of them.
Give me a persuasion or deception check.
Ooh, that's bad.
Alright.
Can I do a psionic die for this?
What does psionic die say?
It's that thing I get to add to a roll.
Can you link it?
Give me a second, it's a very long paragraph.
I mean, if you could just add it to any skill check, then that should be fine.
Yeah, it's I can add it to anything I'm proficient in.
What paragraph am I looking at?
When you reach certain levels, that's that. Psionic Bolsternach. When your non-psionic training fails you, your psionic powers can help. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll a psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the check, eventually turning failure into success. I only expand it if the roll is successful.
Alright, so yeah, give me a roll.
I'll add the d8. So that was an 8 plus
11. So yeah, you find some people who are willing to arm wrestle. Though actually Claw does look pretty strong. With an 11, I'm going to say that fails. People are kind of standoffish, especially not knowing what she is. So no one really wants to get close and arm wrestle with her.
I could, Chloe, cast Distort Value on you, make you weaker than you actually are.
I don't know. What did you say? Distort value? I don't think that works for values, though, doesn't it? I'm not sure that changes how she looks.
Well, let me check. Anyone can. Yeah, you're right enough.
Yeah, you cast a spell on an object no more than 1 foot on a side. Pretty sure I'm bigger than 1 foot.
Yeah, she's
Fair
pretty
enough.
big. Alright, so unfortunately, no one seems like they want to arm wrestle with Claw. She does look pretty intimidating.
She just kind of scoff and then go back to her drink. Just
Yeah.
kind of watching people.
Alright, so how are you two snooping around Highguard? What are you doing exactly?
I was going to go for a walk around to try and find the actual spot of the place, and then see if I can spy in from the inside.
Alright, sure. So you go to the address, it's in the market. It's locked up right now. Windows are all closed. And looking inside, you would see like the front counter. You don't see any gems, so either he's like hiding them somewhere, or maybe he took them home. But looks like it's a decent sized place. I mean, he must have a good amount of money to be able to buy a house if he just got here 2 weeks ago.
Sir, should I go in as a customer
It's
and look at
closed
some
right
of
now.
his? Ah,
It's late at night, so the market's pretty
Yeah.
much closed up.
So
All the stalls and
I was-
shops are closed.
I was thinking of one of us or two of us going in there at different times of the day, or to pose as customers, trying to see if we could get something out of him. But I wanted to see is this a one-story building or a two-story building?
It's just one story.
Okay. I wanted to see if I could tell anything. Also, I want to get an idea of the layout on the inside so that I could, in theory, break in tomorrow. In theory. Oh, cool. We got an idea of the layout. Can we go back?
Alright, so what are you gonna do?
Keller just wanted to give it a spy to see the inside, so if that's it, then we'll go back to the tavern. Or Keller will. I don't know what Arlen wants to do.
Alright,
we can do that as well.
so if no one's doing anything else, I'm gonna pass the day.
So in the middle of the night, Fisher's going to try and contact his patron.
Alright, what's her name again?
He doesn't know her name. He just calls her the Lady in Shadow.
Lady in Shadow, that's right. So you concentrate, and a voice would say, "You disturb me, Fisher. For what?"
Sorry. Do you appear to anyone else?
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Her name's Karen.
Oh wow.
God, what a roll.
She says,
The power of Karen.
"Nosy, aren't you? I have other servants, if that's what you're asking."
Are any of them fire genasi?
She says, "No. I don't have any fire genasi who I'm supplying powers to."
Why do you need the stones?
Give me another persuasion check with disadvantage. She says, "Are you becoming bored of the powers I provide you?"
No, just
Then why would you risk questioning me and possibly losing your abilities?
I just thought I was the only one.
She laughs, cackles a little bit. She says, "No, I provide my abilities to several servants. I have much that I need done in Gaian, and you alone could not do it all. Though you have been a very productive servant, and I do appreciate what you do for me."
Fisher's just going to stay silent.
Now tell me, Fisher, have you found any more gems for me?
I'm working on that. I've got a good lead.
Excellent. Did you tell her about Mad Hell? I don't remember.
No, Fisher's trying to find out if she knows no matter how.
All right. So she says, well, just do your best and bring me those gems as quickly as possible. Uh, this is not something that that can be delayed. We risk losing our edge if the gems are not found.
I will do all I can.
Good. Now, was there anything else?
What's the shard that you gave me?
The shard?
Yeah, she gave him a shard that she said he wanted shaped into something or refined into something more. But I haven't been able to identify what it is. I'm doing a research project to try and identify what it is.
Hang on, let me remind myself. That was.
It's called an obsidian shard.
Now you haven't worked on that yet, right? You still have the raw gem.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been researching. I'm like 4 or 5 days into it.
So let me see. Is it okay? So you have the six-sided gems. Now, so she gave you the shard and she asked you to cut it into like a more fancy gem, right? Or am I
Yeah,
misremembering this?
she gave me an obsidian shard, and it's unidentified, but she gave me the impression that it could augment the power of my spells. I just needed to refine its form, essentially.
Yeah, so, and you said you had done research on it?
I'm in the process of it.
Okay. So she says, you ask so many questions. Like I said, refine it into something beautiful, and then it shall function, making you more powerful. She says, what's so hard about that? Don't worry about where it comes from. Just trust in your patron.
Your wish is my command.
She says, excellent. Now get that done and get me those new gems, and you shall be rewarded.
I shall see it done.
She says, very well. She says, do good work for me, Fisher, and you shall be granted boons. But fail me, and you shall know my wrath. Now, if there's nothing else, I must get back to my
vacation.
My vacation. No, she says, if there's nothing else, I shall leave you.
See you soon.
All right, so she disconnects from your thoughts.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna scratch the idea of summoning the sprite. I'm gonna keep Delvoy as the imp in the imp form, but just have a look at the stat block, and the thing that I wanted wasn't actually on it. So
Okay, so you summon him as an imp.
Finish my sleep. Yeah, and I'll finish the long. Is this a long rest?
Yeah, you're in the process of it. It hasn't passed yet. Is anyone else doing anything for the evening? Okay, so time is passing. Go ahead and subtract gold depending on what lifestyle you're living at.
Question.
Yeah.
This is still part of Candle, right?
It's like a municipality of Candle.
Because I have that background thing, which is that Water Haven nobility. That's as long as I'm in the area. Hang on, what is it?
Your father probably doesn't have contacts here, so you're probably gonna have to pay to live here.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to ask.
But yeah, whatever expense lifestyle you're living, go ahead and pay it. And the night would pass, so go ahead and long rest. And you would wake up in the morning. It is now the 45th of winter. The sunstones are lighting up the cave. You all kind of come down and have breakfast. What do you all want to do? It's the 45th of winter at 8 a.m.
So I think I'd like to catch up with the gang, but I'm trying to keep a low profile, so I've got like a big cloak on, and Del Boy is in the form of a spider, which is something that he can do. Or I have a question: Are there crows or ravens in the Underdark?
Not generally. There aren't much in the way of birds down here. There are bats, but birds are quite rare. There are some because some were brought down during the great exodus of the surface, and some like were kind of bred down here and like fly around the caves. But for the most part, it's bats.
Okay,
Pigeons everywhere.
Yeah, pigeons.
they cannot you cannot escape pigeons. Um, I'm gonna go with spider, and Del Boy's gonna chill as a little spider in Fish's pocket, and he's keeping a low profile. And
Alright.
yeah, he's gonna ask, what did you guys learn last night? I decided to hide upstairs because I stand out pretty well here. I'm trying to keep a low profile.
Oh, also, I think Oliver is with you. Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he came on the.
I remember-
on Shadow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember him being in the battle. So Oliver would say, I learned that the booze here is not the best. But other than that, just been hanging out.
Ollie.
Yes, I am here. I am most curious as to who this Mattel is. Are we heading back to the shop tonight since they're open?
Well, they're open
He went
now.
to he has a shop. He went to the shop.
We shall
Well-
see. We shall see if it's him and then set his shop ablaze.
Oh, here's
That
the
is-
maybe not do that.
Are you an arsonist, Alan?
Oh, are we burning down his shop? Wow, this
Yeah.
got real. Oliver says.
I've only been charged with it. I'm not actually a real one. I
I
just
mean, if he's
missed-
made
I
of
just-
fire, burning a shop wouldn't hurt him.
Yeah, very true. Would it not
True.
like? You're an Earth genasi. If someone hit you with a boulder, would it hurt?
Depends how big the boulder was.
Let's test it. Let's throw a rock at it.
Like a small house-sized boulder. Shouldn't hurt that bad.
That'd probably be the equivalent of you getting punched in the face.
Yeah, so it would still hurt. So setting his house on fire is still going to hurt.
Well, generally speaking, Oliver says, regardless of whether he's made of fire, people and societies generally look down upon arson and burning down people's houses.
Only if you get caught.
Also, I'm not of the opinion that we should necessarily burn this man's house down. He could become a very valuable ally to me. We seem to have a shared goal. I had a couple of conversations of my own last night, and I don't know. Maybe
I
he's
thought
quite
he was
honest.
stealing from you.
Well, he's stealing my design. There's something going on, and
But so basically, it's not the fact that he's making jewelry; it's just the fact that he's making jewelry similar to yours. So if he changes from 5-sided items to maybe necklaces, that would be fine.
potentially, I feel I should come clean to the whole group. Everyone, some of you do know, but I am a warlock. Hence,
Yes.
the imp.
Yes.
I have a problem, and I am in some sort of a pact with, some being, and she requires a amount of gemstones to be delivered to her in exchange for power. If Matt Hell is creating the same gemstones or using the same special type of gemstone in his work, then that to me seems like he might be in the services of the same patron. But I spoke to my patron last night and she doesn't have any contact with any fire genasi, so the plot thickens.
Yeah, but quick thing, as someone who has hired staff before, you don't tend to tell the employees that you have other employees doing the same thing.
But I have no reason to not trust my patron. She's served me I've served her for much of my life. Why would she lie?
Why would she tell you the truth?
I don't know. I'm just
Why?
saying, like, if she sees you as her servant, she wouldn't bother telling you the truth because she's the boss, she's in charge, she's controlling everything. Just my opinion. But yes, no, we can go and see what we can find out. I had an idea that we'd split up and someone could go in as a customer in the day and then try on the night, see if there's any change.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. I had a plan of my own and it involves Delboy here. He's wearing his spider costume today.
So,
And
quick question: do you have a write-up on this patron of yours somewhere?
I don't. I've
Okay.
kind of designed this, so I don't know too much about her. I'm willing to go where.
All right, so she's
Yeah,
kind of a
okay.
mystery to you still.
Yeah.
But you have spoken to her before, right?
Yeah, she normally appears to me in my dreams. The amount of contact that I've been able to have where I can reach out to her and she communicates back has been very limited. So last night was kind of a rare occurrence.
All right. Give me an insight check, actually.
Who?
Fisher.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of odd. You've never actually had her directly communicate with you like that, and she also seemed more what's the word? Pissed/forceful than when she usually interacts with you in your dreams. So something seemed off.
Yeah, that's definitely the impression that Fisher got. For the first time, he felt like perhaps he wasn't unique or special in this, and that there's something else going on, and that he maybe is being used. So, in some way, I think he wants to see, and this is why he's kind of saying to the group, he wants to see if there's some mutual ground that he can strike with this Matt Hell.
Then do you want to just go straight in to talk to him? Or do you want to subterfuge first?
I was thinking subterfuge. I was gonna hang around, find a nearby spot where I can either blend into the stone and remain hidden, whilst Delboy stays within 100 feet of me, and he can remain invisible, and I can see through his eyes. And he's a spider, so he can spin a little web somewhere and keep eyes on that hell for as long as I want.
Do you want me to go in as a customer and have a look around the store? View as what?
Yeah, I think have a little conversation with him, inquire where he gets his products from, the raw materials, because you've never seen gemstones like it before.
Okay.
So, what is the plan?
We're gonna go to the shop, and I think Fisher said he's gonna hang back and survey from the air, and I'm going to survey inside.
Oliver says,
Stay on.
I'll come along. Someone's got to keep an eye on all of you. Especially you, Keller.
Keller, you're probably the sneakiest of all of us. Did you have a plan of approach for this
My plan was, if we were going to do anything sneaky, would be do it when they're not there. Generally, it's easier to break into someone's house when they're not there than trying to be quiet. I was going to let you guys go and do your espionage thing, pretending to be customers and get a reading and see. And I was actually going to see. Well, basically, I was going to follow Claw around and let Claw decide what we'd be doing today.
Here, why don't I take Delboy in with me as a spider, and when this guy's back's turned, I can leave him in the corner, and then nighttime, Del can open the door for us.
Yeah, we can get Del to the front door, and you'll take it from there. I will.
Alright?
Let's go to the shop. I'll find somewhere.
Alright.
So
Nearby.
I'll put Delboy in a spare pouch.
Alright, so you
Okay,
make
watch out. He's got
your...
a nasty bite on him.
Go ahead.
Just saying, watch out. He's got a nasty bite on him.
Oh. So yeah, you make your way over to the shop. Doughboy is nice enough not to bite you. And you would see it is closed right now. Whereas the rest of the market is open, it seems like it is still locked up, which is weird. You would think it would be open right now.
Is it early, or we just...
It's probably about 9 a.m. at this point after you finish breakfast and head out.
I'll start the next person I see and explain, is that normal, or is that unusual?
Alright, sure. So you ask around the market. Give me a persuasion check.
I'm going to assist him.
Sure, go ahead. You can roll one as well. So you both ask around. You kind of get the idea. It seems like the shop has been closed for a few days. They'll tell you that, at least for like, we'll say 3 days now, Matt Hell has not opened his shop. So they just assumed he was traveling or maybe working on something inside. But yeah, it's been a few days and he's not done any business with the people in the market.
I see.
Does it look like there's any small gaps, openings, letterboxes, gaps in the windows, a gutter, something that a spider would be able to climb into
There's a
and get
chimney.
inside? Okay.
So
Well,
he
yeah,
could probably
let's
get
send
in through the
Delboy up the
chimney.
chimney.
Doughboy
Yeah.
says, all right, well, at least if there's fire, it wouldn't burn me. And he'll skitter up there and go down the chimney, get
I'd
inside.
just say, remember, turn invisible if you need to.
Yeah. All right,
And
so
then I
yeah,
start singing the Greasy Spider to myself.
he goes inside the house.
Cool, what does Delboy see? I'm going to use my ability to be able to see through his eyes. His many eyes.
He is moving around. I mean, it looks like there are a couple of rooms here. There's the front room, which is where, business would be. And there's kind of a back area where there's some jeweler's tools laid out. No gems as far as he can tell. Matt Hell must take them with him when he leaves. But there are tools back here for gem refining and crafting. There's a desk, but he can't really get in any of the drawers because he's too small. It looks like the drawers also have a lock on them. There's like quill and ink, paper, gem cutting supplies. Give me a persuasion check for, I guess, the spider.
Persuasion?
Or, perception, not persuasion.
Okay, cool.
Alright, so yeah, that's about all he sees.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was mine. That can only use a saving throw.
16. So he would notice there is a small safe that's locked. Like a chest, not a safe. There's a chest in there that's kind of under some stuff that has a padlock on it. And he would notice a little bookcase with some books as well. But
Any
that's about it.
notable books?
Looks like stuff on Jewelcraft, stuff on arcane stuff as well, and some stuff on religious symbols.
Can you open the door?
Can't.
Do you want him
Is there,
to... Go ahead.
is there any sign of anyone in the property, or is the property empty?
Give me... does he have survival? I'm
Not
assuming
proficient.
no. Give me an investigation check. He might notice something else. Kind of looking around.
Investigation is.
So, something that's a little bit odd. There are a couple of scorch marks on several of the areas within the shop. Like, that have kind of been cleaned up, but almost like something got burned.
Okay.
He would also notice in the back, kind of past the gem cutting area, there is a circle, like a runic circle. This is something Arcana based, but he doesn't know anything about it. He says, this looks like something someone would use for summoning outsiders. Something like myself. This is in your mind. He would say that to you.
He has a familiar.
Well, beyond a familiar, like actual devils or demons.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
It's kind of creepy in here. You want me to leave, or?
I want him to steal his jeweler's tools.
Like turn back into an imp and take a bunch of them?
Yeah, take a bunch of them, put them in his satchel, turn invisible, and fly out the chimney.
Alright. So you would kind of see through his eyes as he transforms back into an imp and is looking over the tools. You would
say, make sure you get all of them.
He says, yeah, give me a second. But you would hear a noise behind him. And as he turns to try to see what it is, you would lose connection with him. Do you think he's been killed?
Huh.
What do you want to do? There might be something else in there. But he didn't notice it when he was looking around. It only seemed to reveal itself when he turned back into an imp.
Can we break in and see?
Yes, I'll relay what happened. Keller and Thor are with us.
I think everyone is with you, right? Claw and Keller, you're all kind of out in the street.
Yeah. If we were going to, like, Met Hell's shop, Claw would have gone with.
Yeah, so they're
Keller's
in the
following
area.
Claw at the minute.
Maybe shopping or looking around or something, so you could grab them pretty easily.
I think Fisher's just going to say, I swear all that imp is good for is dying.
Well,
They
better
got
than
him.
us.
Yeah, you're right. They got him. Couldn't really see anything. Well, it seems like he's been summoning demons of some kind. Might be a similar deal to what I've got going on. I don't know how to play this, but I want to get in that building.
Okay, fine. But before we start breaking into his shop, how about we go to his actual house to see if he's actually home?
I thought this was his house.
No, this is his shop.
Well, it's like his shop house. He lives here as well.
Oh, he lives here too. Okay, yeah, cool.
But he's not at home, but someone or something is guarding his property. So I feel like he might have a invisible familiar of his own that's just taken out Del Boy, which means
Let's not
he knows something's up.
let's not break in the front. Let's go around the back.
Well, if you're going to break in, you don't do it in the middle of the day. Actually, where is his shop? Like, is it on a busy street?
Yeah, I mean it's in the market area, so there are people walking past. I wouldn't say it's busy, but it's not exactly abandoned. Like,
But if we go round the back, are we going to get spotted there if we try and break in from the back? From how located the house is?
it's less likely, but it's still like, as you said, it would definitely be safer to do it at night.
Okay, Keller's snuck into enough places to know what's the best time. So yeah, so Keller will just tell us, look, if we're going to do this, we need to do it when the places are closed. So if you want to break in, that's fine, but you're not going to be able to do it now. We need to come back later on.
Or at least it will be riskier now. Not that it would be impossible.
But like, I can do it. Getting in isn't the problem. The problem is getting in and not getting caught. Because if there's something in there, which you've all just said there is, it's going to end up in a fight. And I can tell you for a fact, we're all going to make a lot of noise.
This is just going to quickly use Divine Sense just to see if he can identify if that was a fiend inside the building.
Alright, so Fisher concentrates.
Fiend, Fire, Undead, isn't it? Like Celestial Fiend or Undead.
So the only issue with this is that it says 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover, which means you'd have to see the being to be able to sense whether it's Fey, Fiend, or Undead. Because being in the house, it would be behind total cover.
Okay.
This ability is often used to sniff out like vampires or devils like pretending to be people, or just something that you can see that looks human but might not be human. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of need to be in the building. Okay. Well, waiting until it's dark and using some of Keller's tools, I think.
Okay, so we're gonna pass time till the evening then?
Yeah, I was gonna follow Claw around to let her, if she wanted to do anything, like any mischief she wanted to get up to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in any hurry. I think it probably makes sense to lay low for a little bit now, come back later on. So let's see what High God has to offer.
I want to see what shops are. Are there any magic shops?
No, there's I mean, you're almost never gonna find shops that directly sell magical items. You would have to do downtime activities to find a private buyer. But there are shops selling more mundane things. The most you could probably find is someone selling like healing potions. But other than that, they would just have normal equipment within the marketplace.
What about sending stones?
You can. So if you want to do the downtime activity to try to find someone who's selling those, you can. It does take 5 days though. Yeah, it's not something that would just be like sending stones $5.99. Like it would more be like finding someone who has them and then trying to get them to sell it to you.
Okay, I got you. We'll start looking and
okay,
we can
so
do that in any.
yeah, you can start a project. So if you want to look for, is it just sending stones you're looking for specifically?
Yeah.
So if you want to start a project for that, that will be 5 days. And let me see, there is an expense to it as well. Let me look at the rules for buying magical items. I think it's under notes. Just look at the compendium. So if you look under the journal, it's in there. But I'll look it up really quick just because I can actually search for it. So it takes 5 days and 100 gold pieces to look for them. And that's for like trying to pay people to get information. And at the end of that time, you'd make a check to see if you find someone selling what you want.
I don't have any enough gold yet. Then I'll have to wait.
Yeah, magical items in general are kind of expensive to try to find outside of, old places, or crafting them yourself is the other way. But I don't think you have any magical item. Well, I don't know if you do you. Well, I guess you are a magic user, so you could, in theory, craft something if you had enough resources. You would probably want to get a recipe for sending stones, which would require research if you don't have them already.
Is that cheaper?
So it can be. Well, you'd have to do research, which is, let's see. Research, you need a library and you need 50 gold pieces to do the research. And then if you are able to figure out the recipe, you can craft them. It's going to be hundreds of gold pieces regardless. It's probably going to be a little bit cheaper to craft it, but it'll take more time because you have to go find the recipe, then put the time in to actually make the thing.
Alright, I'll do it now then.
Yeah, magic stuff is harder to procure than normal stuff. But that said, you can put this day towards downtime if you're waiting towards the evening, if any of you have a project you want to work on. I think the group does have a good amount of money in its coffers, which you haven't distributed yet.
400 gold, and then
600
gold bars.
Yeah, 600 golden bars. So the group has 1,000 gold sitting in its coffers. I don't know if you want to distribute that or put it towards some kind of project, but yeah, does everyone have a project that they would want to work on today? Because you can either do that or we can just pass the time and you just hang out at the bar or something. It's up to you.
Not here. I don't have a project here.
Okay. So Keller is just hanging out. Does anyone have a project they want to work on? Otherwise, we'll just say the day passes quietly.
Would I put
Capacity.
like pick up a few more javelins?
Yeah, you can buy javelins at book price at the market.
Alright, cool. Then I'd probably pick up another 4, so that's like 2 gold.
Yeah, and I mean, you could just minus the gold and add them to your sheet. You don't even have to tell me
And
what you're
I
buying.
would buy Claw another 8 javelins just because they might be useful for her.
All right, so Keller grabs a whole bunch of javelins for you.
You are.
But the day will pass if no one's doing anything. And you're waiting till sundown, right?
Optimum time to do a burglary, yeah.
I mean, the optimal time is like in the middle of the night when everyone's asleep, but I don't know
Let's
if
do
you want
that.
to do that late. Maybe around midnight.
Let's wait until the optimal time.
All right, sure. So we'll say at midnight.
Hey, Claude, don't you find it funny how all halfling surnames are kind of like perfect for that person? Like Alan, Spellforge, Boris,
Free,
Gelman.
free spell.
Free spell, sorry.
Yes,
You don't find
because
it really weird?
my spells are free and not pack given.
Wow, judgmental bunch, are we?
No, it's just superior.
Arlen
Okay.
has made his views on magic very
Oh
public.
no, I was just saying to Claw. Like I find it funny. That's what I was saying to Claw.
Oh, okay. So evening comes, and you're all headed to the market for the break-in.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
cast Pass Without Trace on.
Make sure we're all together and then just cast it and it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Alright, so you sneak around to the back of this place. Give me stealth checks.
Okay, I need to get all of this.
If you have Pass Without Trace, you would have a +10 to these rolls.
I'm also at advantage for sound because of my elven boots. Oh no, what have I just done? Oh, ignore that.
to take my heavy armor off. Where is that on the sheet?
Alright, so 21, 33, 27.
Give me a second, I'm just finding Oliver's is just stacks then.
Yeah, it would just be Dex, 21.
So
So
21.
you all move in very quietly to the back of this house, which I will plop you on the map in a moment.
What's the Pass Without Trace?
For you all, Keller was good. Because like this is my thing.
And Keller, you don't have to put Oliver on just yet. But yeah, so the house is here as you are approaching. And the back door is still locked as it was last left.
Before we even go to that one, I want to look at the one over here. See if it looks like if there's anyone inside. Can they see us? What are they doing?
That's another market shop. Looks like it's closed up as well right now.
Are the people that are living inside, can they see us or no?
You don't see, at least with your passive perception, you don't see anyone at the windows. It doesn't look like there's... Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any light or much movement. That might be a normal shop without a home as part of it.
And I'll also do the same for the other one up the other end because...
And there is some...
break in.
There is some light coming from several glowing mushrooms in the area.
And then I will, yeah, like I said, I'll sneak up the other way to have a look at the other house to see if the other market shop looks the same as that one, or if it's like his.
Can you see okay, Arlen?
I do not have whatchamacallit. I don't have dark vision now.
But you can see some light coming from the mushrooms, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, so it's very dark for you. But yeah, are you walking around the front of the house, Fisher, to where the path is?
Yeah, I'm just keeping watch.
Okay. So yeah, what are you all gonna do? You would see that there are guards moving around the marketplace in the evening.
Is this one like the other one? Like it just looks like they'll just use it as a marketplace, not to live in as well.
That one you would see some light coming from a candle in one of the windows, but you don't see anyone like looking out. So there might be someone living there.
Yeah. So if someone's living there, it's better to do it down this end. Alright, cool.
Follow Keller.
So where's the nearest window to where I'm at? Or like door or like cellar entrance or anything?
Well, there's a door. There's a back door that's closed and locked. There are some windows as well, which are closed and you assume locked.
No cellar entrance.
No, you don't see anything that would go down to a cellar.
Can I look at the window for traps?
So yeah, sure. If you look at the window, you wouldn't see anything with your passive.
Okay.
Nothing on the door or window, as far as you can tell.
Right. I'm gonna try opening the lock on the window.
You do know that there are sometimes magical traps, but you would need detect magic to see if there's like an aura or something.
Fisher, Arlen, you two do magic. Can you guys do
Weird that you
detect magic?
mentioned that. Very weird that you mentioned that was literally just a counter spell.
Alright, are you casting it or are you doing the ritual, which takes 10 minutes?
I will cast.
Casting it would use a spell slot, but it would be instant. You could do it as a ritual, which wouldn't use a spell slot, but it would take 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast.
Alright, so you channel energy quickly doing the spell, and you would in fact see an aura on the door. Focusing in.
I'm also trying to figure out if our little friend that killed Sweet Delboy earlier is around.
It would be an abjuration aura, which if you told Quentin that, you would know, Quentin, that abjuration auras are usually alarm spells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my sister does it all the time to her bedroom door because I break in. It's ridiculous. So you can
Only
see
on the
magical
door, though.
auras, right?
Why do you break into your sister's room? Oliver says.
Because sometimes it's fun to play pranks on her or steal her things. You know, it's just fun to wind her up. Anyway,
He rolls his eyes.
please, you get into
So,
fights with other people. Shut up.
Guys, in the middle of a heist here. Let's not talk about Keller's strange kinks. There
It's
doesn't
not
seem
a
to be-
kink. It's coming from the man who drops rubies from a portal to God knows who.
Oliver
Really, you're going to
chuckles.
judge me?
Says, I think he has a
Okay, you
point,
got
though.
that.
We should probably stick to the plan. As weird
Right,
as you
you've
all
got-
are.
You've got detect magic up, so you can see anything with magic, right?
Correct.
Do me a favor. Go around all the windows. Do a full lap of the house to see if you can see anything from any of the windows or doors, or if you can see anything inside the rooms.
So, at least the back windows, you don't see any auras on them. You don't see anything magical as far as you can tell coming from inside the house. Doing a quick walk around.
Yeah, we come together.
And at this point, there is a... Who put Pass Without Trace? Who used that?
Me.
Alright, so that's gone because you use Detect Magic, which is also Concentrate. But at this point, a guard would be coming by, so I need stealth checks from everyone.
Wait, it's
Unfortunately,
part of that trace.
yes,
They're
it
both
is.
concentration,
They
yeah.
are both
Ooh.
concentration.
Ooh.
If it's sound, I've got a 24.
I will let you cover for each other, though.
Sorry, what did you need from us?
Stealth
Stealth.
check, because there's a guard coming by.
If it's sound based, I have 24. If it's normal, it's 18.
Alright, so... Yeah, he walks past, does not know you're in the back. He doesn't detect you and just keeps going. Go ahead, you can continue.
Okay, right. Give me a second. I'm going to try and pick the lock on the window to unlock it and open it.
The
1 second,
window doesn't have... Or go ahead, what were you saying, Harlan?
Guidance.
Okay.
Thank you.
The window is locked from the inside. There's not like an outside lock to open it. You'd have to break the window.
Okay. And the door's going to get set off. Shit.
Stand aside, I shall cast Firebolt in the window.
No, because then you're going to make noise and people are going to come running. Okay.
So as you're standing there discussing things, you hear a click from the door, which then slowly opens.
That's really wasn't me.
Shit.
You
I
don't,
misty step
you don't see
inside
anyone,
the building.
Well, you don't see anyone there. However, from the darkness inside, 2 red eyes begin to glow. Give me initiative checks.
Now I gotta drag Oliver on. Right, give me a second.
Wait, could I not Misty Step as a reaction?
At
it's
this
a bonus.
point, you would have to do a it would be initiative, but so you'd want to Misty Step into where the red eyes are.
No, I was gonna try and Misty Step in so
I
through
actually
the
can't
wall.
see much.
Yeah, there's no light source right now, so you should only see like small amounts of light coming from the mushrooms.
I can see. You can see this like blue thing here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the mushroom.
mushrooms.
So unless you
Wow,
want to use a light spell or light up a torch or something, it's kind of hard to see. You did see the red eyes coming from the door that just opened, which is over here.
Hey, Arlen, I can see fine. There's red eyes in there.
Okay.
There's red eyes. Alright, so the first act is going to be Arlen. Alright, so a creature steps forth from the darkness.
Okay.
And it looks very strange. Some of you might know what it is. Hang on, let me show you what it looks like. So it is a greenish looking creature covered in strange spines. As I said, the eyes of it kind of glow. It has big claws, and it kind of steps out with a bit of a malicious intent, as it says something, or malicious intent, as it says something in Infernal.
Anyone speak Infernal?
I don't
Give me a
know.
minute. I need to check.
I
Probably
do.
not.
Fisher might, because he does do the warlock thing.
Where
He is a
are
warlock.
languages on the character sheet?
Down the bottom left. Nope.
Yeah, I speak Infernal.
So it would say, Fisher Price, this is where you die. As
Okay.
it looks menacingly unfurling its claws. But Arlen, you act first, as it says this.
Is Fisher next to me?
Fisher is over here in the darkness.
Is he within 30 feet though? Can I see him?
Yes. Well, you can kind of... actually, no. You probably can't see him because it's all dark around where you are. Here, why don't I say you grabbed one of the mushrooms and pulled it over here, even though you didn't say you were doing that. But that would probably be something you'd do.
I didn't actually realize. Apologies.
Uh,
So there it is. So I will cast haste upon Fisher.
Alright, so you chant as Fisher. You feel yourself start moving a lot quicker. Starting to move a lot quicker. Anything else for you? So mark yourself as concentrating.
Alright, okay, concentrating. And it is that one. I shall move back one beside and stand behind Cloth.
Okay, so that is it for you. Gara.
I forget which thing. Oh wait, no, we're using the clock. Okay, bonus action shift for that. I'm going to just move up to here.
Alright.
And let's fucking temp HP. Bet it's been like a month.
Temp HP, I mean, you could put it on your sheet and it goes in
Well, I mean, I know where to put it. I just need to remember what it is.
Oh, how much?
the amount that I get. It should
much?
be in that, right?
Let me see. 1d6.
This is equal to 2 times proficiency bonus, temp HP.
Oh, alright.
So-
If you're wildling on. Worlds.
Yeah, shift gain a 2 times efficiency.
Okay.
Which what? That's like 6 or.
Yeah, I believe so. At 5th level, that would
Yeah.
be 6. So what's
Yeah,
this
6
beast
temp HP.
hide? Or no, that's a sorry,
Oh,
that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a different.
That's all of them. I'm wild hunting specifically. So there's that, and then here's my character sheet. Okay, reckless attack, great weapon master for the first hit, no rage damage, so swing.
Alright, so you rush up, swinging your blade recklessly. The demon will just, or devil will just sidestep it though. Roar.
And then extra attack swing for a
So
17.
17 will connect on this one. He has a pretty tough hide, but you do manage to land the hit.
Okay.
As he stumbles back, taking 16 points of slashing damage.
I can re-roll the 1 because great weapon fighting.
Okay, so go ahead and re-roll that.
So that would be
extra
18.
18.
So 18.
18 total, yeah. Okay. It now shifts looking at you, getting ready to strike at you with its claws. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. So, Keller, you would hear a noise that sounds like little wings beating coming from the south of you. Unfortunately, there's not much you could do, as it's a little bit too late when an imp appears and screeches, stabbing at you with its tail.
Okay.
So you are.
I see you pissed off
caught.
Delvo, right?
Is that Delboy?
No, it's not Doughboy. Doughboy betrayal. It is a different imp, which is unfortunately trying to stab you with its tail with advantage.
I feel like this is revenge for all the bullshit that I've been giving you with flying the simple rounds.
It's Doughboy's cousin. So it does a sting attack.
Rodney.
16.
I was gonna say it's Rodney. No.
It's Rodney. Ooh, 16. Yeah, so that will just miss you, I think. As you jump back, a little poisonous tail coming at you. That's it for that imp.
It's not Rodney, it's Boise.
Boise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another imp at the same time appears behind Claw and attacks her. Becoming visible, it will attack with advantage.
Can't hit me with advantage because shifted.
Just for anything?
Yep. Anything within 30 feet of me cannot hit me at advantage.
Oh, alright. So normal sting then.
Trigger.
Well, 22 is
22
probably
still
gonna hit
hits,
you
yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Sadly.
So 6 piercing and a con save.
Okay. Con save.
Alright, so you do make the con save, taking 9 poison instead of the 18. So
Okay.
a total of 15.
There goes my temp HP, and then minus 9.
You would... So, Keller, and actually several of you now, you would hear the sound of a bunch of wings coming from somewhere above.
Okay.
What the fuck, you little son of a bitch? So another one, like, poofs in, stabbing at Oliver over there. It's like, God damn it! He's, like, swatting at it. So it attempts to sting him with advantage. Ooh,
Did
but
you
no.
ever see?
Oliver just slaps it and it goes flying back. He's like, what the hell? Keller.
Did you ever see during the war?
I don't understand any of these references.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's fine. What are you doing, Keller? I assume this is from that show.
It's only
Yeah.
Golden Horses.
Those
Alright,
doughboys.
Keller is going to attack Psychic Blade to the one on his right.
Alright, the little imp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 24 is gonna strike it. A bunch of
I-
yeah.
9. I don't get sneak attack, do I? Because
No, unless because you don't have advantage. None of your allies are next to it.
that's cool. I couldn't remember. And then
But it is badly wounded from that attack.
you to there. Right, that's fine.
Anything else?
Yeah, bonus action. I'm gonna do my other psychic blade.
All right, second stab.
Then, yeah.
Oof, yeah. So you stab at it again as it screeches in pain, blood coming from its eyes. It falls to the ground, leaving behind some essence.
Yep, cool. And then he's gonna rush over here,
Okay.
and that is Keller's turn.
Alright. So as you're rushing over there, you hear the sound of wings following you. And another one appears, striking at you with advantage. Oh, 19?
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, so this one gets you in the shoulder, and I need a con save. Ooh, that would fully affect you, so 19 points of damage
Okay.
as the poison courses through your veins. Fisher, you're really speedy.
Could I have uncanny dodge that to half it?
Yes, so you can spend your reaction and you would take
Yep.
9 points of damage.
Okay, I'm gonna add 19. Sorry, carry on.
Also, I have bonus. Sorry, I have 2 actions, right?
Yes.
You have an
Nice.
action and a limited hasted action.
Yeah, the second action can only be used for certain things.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. Then I'm gonna pretend like I have 2 attacks. I'm gonna take out my war pick and swing at the spiky boy.
Alright, so 13 sadly is not going to be enough as he kind of smacks that attack away, growling at you. Still looks pretty pissed at Claw. Second attack. This is your hasted attack.
Right again.
Oof.
Oh, come on.
So this demon is freaking you out because you're just swinging wildly and he avoids both of the attacks. Now, do you get 2 attacks normally or 1? Because you're packed to the chain, right?
Yeah, I don't have extra attack.
Okay, never mind. I thought, yeah, so that would be a different pact. All right, so is that it for you?
I will. I will Misty Step inside.
Into the house? You would be right next to the... I mean, you could come, like, behind him into the room there, I guess?
Yeah, what am I looking at through the window? Is there?
So this is the back area. This is kind of where his shop is. Like, this is where all the tools were and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm.
I don't have a map for in there right now, but I can just, like, put you in there and say you're inside the house there.
Yeah, I'd like to Misty Step so I'm like behind him, so that.
Alright, so you...
Yeah, would I get a bonus for flanking? If, like, me and
Yes.
Laura on either side?
Yeah, you would. You could also... Well, I mean, he looks pretty strong. I was going to say you could try to push past him or tumble past him, but Misty Step would guarantee you get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna Misty Step in, so behind him.
Alright. So, quick question. You get 2 spells a day, right?
Yeah.
So, which what was detect magic? Was that one of your spells, or what were you? What was that? Because this would
So
be
I have
3
two
spells now.
slots.
Well, what's your
Yeah, I have 2 slots
multi-class
for
thing?
the
Because
paladin.
Pally's got some.
And I
Oh,
have 2
multi-class.
slots for
Okay.
warlock. Yeah.
So got
Also,
it.
I think the Earth Genasi lets him do the pass without trace of racial thing.
Ah, is
Yeah,
that
that's what I tried.
is that okay? So that's just like a once a day thing or something.
That's correct, yeah. So pass without
All
trace
right,
is
that makes
free.
sense now. And the Misty Step, is this your second spell today?
That is my second spell.
Okay.
First, second level, and then I have 1 first level and 1 second level left.
All right. So you Misty Step past him and are now in flanking. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. More sounds of flapping. As another one of these things appears next to Claw. Luckily, it doesn't have advantage because of her ability. But it is still going to try to stab her with the flank.
No.
11 will miss, luckily. And that is it for that one. Finally, one is going to appear by Arlen. That one would have advantage, attacking you, Arlen. As it
Okay.
cackles. Ah! Yeah, 23 is probably going to strike you.
Oh yeah, my AC is only like 13.
Alright, so give me a con save.
Oh fuck!
DC 11. Alright, so you made that. You would take 9 points of poison, or 9 points of damage total. And I need a second
Yeah.
con save to hold your spell.
Second constitution.
Alright, so you do hold the haste. That is it for that imp. Finally, the devil gets to go. It's going to growl and do a multi-attack. Clawing at Claw.
Nope.
14 will miss on the first. And 18 will
Nope.
just barely miss on the second as you dodge back and forth. Oliver.
Right.
It's like, what
One
the
in front
hell
of
are
him.
these things?
I would have know what they are because he's seen a.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. He would have seen Doughboy. So he's
Okay,
like,
so
why is Doughboy so mad at us? Why is
I
there
hate
6 of him?
fucking imps.
Yeah.
He hates his magic shit. Okay, so he's got the sword out. No, that's dodging. And the 1, 3. Okay, so he's got that. Damn it. Right, he's gonna attack with the long sword.
13 will strike with the first hit. Doing 14. Alright, he just cuts it down.
Cool. Then he's going to move over here. And then he gets advantage because of pack tactics. And with his second multi-attack, or his second attack, whichever way you want to word it, he's going to attack the one there. 17.
Yeah, 17 will hit, which is going to bring down this guy. Alright.
And then with the rest of his movement, he is going to move here. And that is that.
Alright. So, bottom of the round. You would notice, Keller, some shadowy thing come flying off the roof.
Fucking hell.
And it is going, well, looks like this. Looks kind of like
incoming!
looks kind of like the Barb Devil, but it has wings and a bunch of spines coming off of it. And it is gonna swoop down, flying past a bunch of you, which it does some
High
kind
up
of
range or above us?
It's Oppie range, but hang on, that's a thing. Let's fly by.
how
It has
many-
the owl thing. So
Okay.
it flies past, and it is going to swipe at Oliver. doing a multi-attack as it goes through.
Mhm.
So what does it do? 2 attacks, bite, and fork. So it bites at Oliver. 28, I'm assuming, hits him.
That's his AC.
22 with the flank, actually.
yes, then.
For 5 slashing, and then it's going to try to poke him with the fork. 21 is going to hit again
Yep.
for a whopping 1. Wow. Then it's going to keep flying over. Let's see, how far can it go? It can go. Okay, so 5, 10, 20. So it flies up to here, kind of swooping through, slashing and poking, then continues to fly. It is at ground level right now, though, so it's like 5 feet off the ground. Arlen, what are you gonna do?
Just real quick. How many creatures are there altogether?
Right now there are 5 left. 3 of them have been killed.
Okay, so I'm going to are they all within 30 feet of me?
No.
3
All
of them
but
are.
one.
Oh yeah, the one that flew past isn't, but the others are.
Alright, then I will use my sorcery point to meta magic and distance my spell. And I'll cast a level 3 Bane. And I will get all 5.
That's concentration, so haste will
I know,
drop.
I know, but
Alright.
I think
Blowing through
Bane will
those
be
spells. Could you
Just
link
go-
the sorcery point? What power you're using?
alright, yes.
Distance.
Sorry, I had to change tactic because of the amount of creatures.
Oh, so you're doing that so you hit the one guy over there?
So I get everyone. Every creature, yes.
Okay. But it says up to 3 creatures.
Yeah, you can only hit 3 anyway.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
upcast to a third, and each
Oh,
upcast is 1 extra target.
So
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so I see. All right, so they have to make charisma saves. So I'll start with
Please be
this
shit at
guy.
charisma. Please be shit at charisma.
Fortunately, they are devils, so they do have advantage on these.
Oh no.
DC is what?
DC is 13.
13. All right, so the flying guy made it. I don't think the imps get it. Oh no, they do. They all have magic resist. So charisma on the imp. Nope, that one would make it. Second imp.
Yeah.
Charisma. That one would make it. 2, 3. The spine devil. Oh, the spine devil doesn't have resistance. All right, interesting. So normal charisma roll. Or the barb devil. So the barb devil is affected by your bane,
Yeah,
getting a penalty, and this last imp over here will fail as well. So the barb devil and the imp near Keller are both under the effect of bane. So just remind me when they make attacks that they get minus D4.
well, I need to go to the bathroom. Just put. Okay.
All right,
Hold
so
on.
that's it for
I need.
you.
After my phone, I need to step away for a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there is a slight shit thing because now Fisher Price loses haste.
Yeah.
He
So
has
he
that
would.
One
He is.
round he can't do anything.
Yeah, he's stunned for a round. Beep, 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 beep.
So I got 1 extra attack, which I missed.
Well,
Enhanced.
when haste ends, you get stunned for a round.
Yeah.
Not
No,
not
no,
true
no.
stun, just can't do shit.
Yeah, like
True
incapacitated,
stun would
right?
be awful. Just can't move or take an action. There's no actual condition.
Okay. So
Just like
Arlen's
no use
done.
of that as well.
Gara. What do you
Okay,
do?
bonus action rage.
I hate all these devils. All right, so you
Yeah.
begin raging.
Fucking Madge, and now she's gonna swing on the big guy with the rage bonus this time.
Okay.
First swing.
Yeah, 19 will strike it. Now,
Rerolling that one.
now remind me, because I just remembered something. Is your sword magical?
I don't believe so. I don't think you've given us a magical weapon yet. So no.
I think some of you. Well, anyway. So unfortunately, he would take half.
It's resisted. Understandable.
So he takes 10 from that hit. Still a good
Well,
amount.
I'm rerolling the one from the 1d6 that I rolled.
Oh,
So
okay.
3.
So another 2
That's,
or 1.
yeah, an extra 2.
All right. Second attack.
Yep, so that's 11 damage for that, and then second swing. I don't believe a 9 hits.
Now he's gonna dodge that one as you cut at him, and that would miss. All right. So that's it for Gara. The imp here is going to try to. It saw Oliver beating on his buddies, so it's going to try to sting Oliver. Actually, you know what it's going to do? It is going to disappear, turning invisible. And it is going to fly up 20 feet.
Does Oliver get an attack of opportunity?
No, because it's invisible.
Yeah, invis then move.
So it invisibles and kind of repositions itself a little. Flying up 20 feet in the process. So it's now out of range. This imp is dead. So I should put him to the map layer. Keller, what are you going to do?
Right, bonus action, Psychic Blade. Do I do... Yeah, fuck it. Bonus action, Psychic Blade at the 1. That's there.
Okay.
6.
27 will strike it, doing 6, and it becomes badly wounded.
Thought I did them back.
I don't get sneak attack on that, do I? With the Bane.
No. Bane just gives it
Okay.
minus, I think, D4 to his attacks.
Yeah, it's blessed but bad.
Okay. And then, if I did a Psychic Blade... No, it won't make a difference. Well, Psychic Blade again at the 1.
Same one.
13. Yeah.
13 will hit it.
6.
And that will kill it. It falls to the ground, poofing away.
Cool. And then movement-wise... Just move 1 square back a minute. Okay.
Okay. Fisher, so you are affected with the loss of haste this turn, and you can't do anything. The imp goes... I guess it'll stab at Claw again with the flank. Stings at you. Nope, that will very much miss you as you jump out of the way. That imp is dead. Okay, the Barb Devil goes. So it's probably going to keep going for Claw because she hit it really hard. So it's going to multi-attack. Oof, nope. Second attack, 24, I believe,
Well
will
hit.
strike. Doing 9, which halves to 4 piercing. Stabbing you with its claw. It says some curse words in Infernal, ending its turn. Oliver.
Okay. Pack Tactics. Oh, extra. Well, whichever one. 40 or whatever. So 17 for the imp to his south.
Yeah, so it is badly wounded by that attack. It's still up.
Okay, and the imp. Oh, it's badly wounded. So. And then I have to attack it again.
Alright, so you go to try to finish it off. 23 will destroy it. As it falls
Then-
in a heap of dust to the ground.
will then move over that one.
Okay, move over
Standing
that
there.
way. That is it for you.
Mhm.
All right, so the flying guy is going to gain some altitude, and it is going to shoot some tail spines over at, I'll say, Claw. 14
These
will
ones
miss.
would be at advantage because he's far enough away.
Oh, because you were
14 misses,
reckless.
20 hits. Yeah, 20 hits though.
Is he baned?
That one, no. This guy is not baned.
So that's 2 damage.
So yeah. Well, 2 and then 1 fire. So
Bear
3
Barbarian.
damage. Oh, right, you're bear. Okay, so yeah, it would just be 2 then. So that's it for the Spine Devil. New round, Arlen.
So the Spine Devil the only one left?
No, there are. Let's see.
There's
can,
one Invis Imp, the barbed one, and then the spine.
Yeah, you can't see the spine. You would hear it over here because it's like off in the dark somewhere.
Yeah. So
Firing.
how many of the baned ones are left?
Wow.
Just the barb devil.
Yeah, the
This
barbed
one in the house.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
will-
Oh, he was barbed. Or he was baned. The barbed one that hit me. Too late.
Yeah, yeah, we totally forgot
Yeah.
about that. All right, so
All good.
but yeah, we can get that next time. So Arlen, you would probably only see the baned one, this guy over here in the house. So you chant sending a firebolt at it. That will completely miss though, flying past it into the house. Anything else for you?
I'm actually no, I can't use my inspiration, can I?
You can
Okay.
use a story point to re-roll, but you can't use your inspiration at this point. You have to use it before the roll.
I'll use it. I'll use my story point.
Oh, all right, sure. That is a crit. Unfortunately, I hate to do this. Being a devil, he is immune to fire damage because he literally comes from a plane of fire. So the firebolt would hit him right in the face, but he just kind of shakes his head and doesn't look like it did anything.
That is absolutely brutal.
Yeah. So that is it for Arlen.
Yes, that's it for Arlen.
All right, Gara.
Yeah, guess what? I swing at advantage.
16 will, or 18 with the flank now, will strike him,
Cool.
slashing him for
So
11.
20, 11, and then second swing. Hits
Yeah, that will strike him again.
for what? 20,
12.
12?
Yeah. He seems very annoyed and will continue to try to attack you. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. The invisible imp is going to fly over this way and try to attack Oliver again, turning visible. So it does a sting. 24 will strike Oliver.
Oh.
Doing 7, and I need a con save.
Pitch. No, it's not.
Alright, so you would make it, so you take another 5, so 12 points of damage total.
Okay.
That's it for the imp. Keller.
Okay. I don't see him yet. Okay. Come on.
So Keller moves up a little.
Right. I can see that barbed devil, so attack, psychic blade, think he's within 60 feet.
Yes, you would see him up there. I don't think you'd have advantage though, because he can see you as well. But
Yeah.
17 would strike it, as it's flying around up there, doing 7 psychic.
And then bonus action dash to here.
Alright, and then you quickly dash around the corner. Fisher.
Bonus action. Oh, no, send me. There's something there. Bonus action. Explodes first on
Alright,
the
so
bomb
you
guy in the doorway.
summon dark energies to curse this guy.
And then I'm going to hopefully hit him.
20, yeah, that'll strike with the flank.
Okay, and then I'm gonna Divine Smite at 2nd level.
Okay.
How do I up past this?
Well, 2nd level would be 3d8, I believe, for a smite.
Cool. Oh wow.
Alright, so
Nice
one
damage.
more d8.
Yeah. Damn. 2 8s and a 7.
So that's gonna be 16, 23, 23 radiant, and then the war pick damage.
More pick damage.
So the war pick damage is gonna be halved because your war pick isn't magical, I don't think, right?
No, it doesn't have a description.
Yeah, the demon seems to, or the devil seems to resist non-magical. So he would
Wait.
do.
Is packed weapon
Oh, you have a packed weapon?
damage? Yeah, the war pick is the packed weapon. So
I think those are magical. So wait, are you Because I thought you were packed to the chain. I didn't think they got packed weapons.
It's a Hexblade.
Hex
Oh.
Warrior is different from Packed Weapon.
Oh, okay.
Because Pact of the you need Pact of the Blade to get Packed Weapon.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm not.
Hex Warrior just lets you use Charisma.
Yeah, so I don't think it counts as magical. So that would be 5 points of damage plus the 24 or 23, which is 28 damage total, and that would wound the demon or devil. Now it turns
Fucking
angrily
Mickey.
towards you.
Next blades. Oh man, I was 1 away from the crit on that bad boy. Okay.
Any other attacks?
Bonus action. And yeah. That's it.
Alright, so the devil goes. It's going to turn towards you now after that smite, and it's going to unleash some attacks on you.
Bane.
Let me check something.
Yeah, he is baned. Unfortunately, I took my heavy armor off because I thought we were on a sneak mission, and then ended my pass with that trace like a fool with detect magic. So my AC is a miserable 13.
We'd have ended up fighting these things eventually anyway.
I know, right? Pretty sure it's
Alright,
been armor.
so it tail attacks you, 17.
Minus Bane.
Yes.
Oh, roll a
Yeah,
d4.
Bane.
Bane.
Roll a d4.
Can Bane even save
What?
it if your AC is 13?
No, it couldn't, because even with a 4, that would be
Yeah,
would
it'd
still
be
hit.
13, which meets anyway.
Another one of those
Uh,
two.
So 6 piercing from the tail stab to you.
Okay.
And then it does 2 claw attacks. 9 would miss you. 19 is going to hit, though. Doing another 4. So 10 damage total. As it angrily turns and starts slashing and poking at you with its claws and tail. I'm surprised they don't have poison on their tail. Anyway. Sorry, give me one moment. Double check something. Oh, I was thinking of a different tale. Okay, so that's it for the Barb Devil. Oliver.
Okay. Oliver is going to attack the one to his north.
Yeah.
No. Oh no, 12. The 12 won't hit.
12.
Will it?
No, that's still gonna miss.
Cool.
17 will
17.
strike it though, doing 8 magical slashing, which will very much wound it. It's badly wounded. Alright, anything else
Okay.
for Oliver?
That's all he can do.
Alright, so the Spine Devil is going to fly up some more. Yeah, we'll see, he goes up to 30 feet. And he's going to fire more spines down at Claw. Because he sees her leaving herself open. Chew! Nope.
Nope.
20
hits.
will strike. So you are struck for 5 points of damage.
5.
Luckily, reducing both of those. And that is it for the Spine Devil. Top of the round, Arlen. What are you gonna do?
The Spine Devil, the one next to Claw, this one here.
That's the barb.
That's the Barb. The
There's
Spine
Barb.
one you would hear flying around up in the air, so you know it's
And
there.
you see spines flying at me.
Yeah, and you'd see like little spines flying out. So you know it's up there, you just can't see it. So you could attack it at
I'll fire it.
disadvantage.
I'm gonna fire a Chaos Bolt.
At which one?
A Chaos Bolt.
I
Well,
mean,
at which target?
yeah, who are you
Oh,
firing at?
this,
Alright,
this one.
so you fire a Chaos Bolt at the Barb Devil. I guess you have to roll to see if you hit with that.
No, I roll here. The roll is to see what type of damage I do.
Yeah, but
You have to roll
you
to
have
hit,
to-
then roll damage.
Yeah, you have to hit it first.
I know I rolled an 8. Or am I rolling an advantage or disadvantage or normal?
Normal
Ah,
attack
I
roll.
don't know.
Oh, I see. You rolled an 8. So I think an 8, unfortunately, is going to miss him. As you
Oh, well.
blast a Chaos Bolts through the door, but yeah, that is not going to be enough. Anything else?
Alright. I'm gonna move here next to Claw because I'm gonna help her out in the future.
Alright, so go ahead and subtract the first level spell, and that's going to be it for you. Claw.
I swing. I crit.
Alright, so you land a critical hit with that swing.
I roll damage. I reroll
Uh,
that one. Can I reroll both ones or just or I don't think I can reroll the crit one.
No, not the
That-
crit, but you can
Yeah.
re-roll the other one.
No,
Wait,
still a 1 anyway. So same damage.
so that would be
13, 25. And then
so
halved.
12. All right. He still seems pissed at Fisher, but
Yep,
12
and then-
damage would put him to badly wounded.
Second swing. Hits
Yeah, that will connect
for
on
another 12.
the second swing.
And then bonus action, second wind. So slash 1 slash R 1d10 plus 1. So an extra 3 HP. Small heal.
Alright, so that is it for Claw. The imp over here is going to turn invisible again.
Is he brained?
No.
And he is going to fly away. Somewhere around the house over here. Keller.
Okay. I was going to move here to Psychic Blade. That one.
Okay.
The one that's flying and shooting spines.
18. That will hit it. So you do 10
Then-
points of psychic. 'Cause it's-
Rest of my movement back. Bonus action hide.
Alright, so you hide back there. Fisher.
How's the barbed guy looking in front of me? He badly wounded.
Yeah, he's badly wounded after that last hit.
Fingers crossed. Oh, baby.
Alright, so 23 with the flank will strike.
Can I hit with my war pick, see the reaction, and then smite? Or before I roll damage, do I need to say whether I smite?
You have to say before the damage is rolled. So you
What
have
does
to.
badly wounded mean?
It means he is at 1/4 health or below. So, if you have medicine, you can try to evaluate what his HP is, but I don't think you have medicine.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so you would have to kind of make a judgment call.
Yeah, I'll smite.
Okay. So you do 5 points of damage with that, because it halves.
Wait, do we have the slots to smite?
I have one.
And that
And I roll
would
2 once.
be another 2 radiant. So that
insane.
would
I rolled-
bring him down.
Oh my god.
So that was your last spell slot.
That was my last spell shot, and the last smite I did, I rolled max damage.
All
And
right.
This one, I
So
You rolled
minimum
min.
damage.
It
this
averages
one
out.
is minimum. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I regain hit points. Base. Temporary may target dies, you regain hit points with your warlock level plus your charisma modifier. 6. So I get 5 hit points back because I killed him. And that is it for me. Actually, I'm gonna.
All
Wait,
right.
you said there's nothing in the house, right?
Well, there's some stuff in here. There's some tools, but is there anything else you're doing for this turn?
No.
All right. So Arlen, quick question. You did a Bane and a Chaos Bolt, right?
Yeah, the chaos bolts are. They're not concentrating.
Yeah, but I mean, it says you still have 3 first level spells. Shouldn't you have 2? Or am I going crazy here?
Bane was cast
Four.
at third level.
Oh, Bane was cast at 3rd level? Oh, that's right. You upcast it. All right, so that's my mistake then. Then that checks out then. Okay. I read that wrong. All right, so that is it for Fisher. The Barb Devil is dead, so he can't do anything. The Spine Devil is going to fire some more tail spikes. Pew, firing at Claw again. Because you did Reckless, right?
I did reckless. Yeah.
Okay. 13 will miss,
Oh.
and 18 will
18 misses
just
as well.
barely miss. Okay. So new round, Arlen.
Claw, I bet that guy's really annoying you, hitting you from all the way up there.
Arlen says.
Not a lot I can do about him in the fucking sky.
Well, that's about to change.
Flight, my only weakness.
Exactly. Getting out of my 5-foot reach.
Alright, so he uses his last 3rd level spell of the day to cast Fly. And Gara can fly. I assume you're casting it on her.
I am, yes. Go on,
Alright.
Claw. Show him. I'm not have to concentrate on this, so Bane drops for the others.
Well, yeah, they were all dead anyway. Alright, so Gara.
So just so it's 35 feet. Technically, if I go there, it's 25, and then
Then you would have to
Or-
ascend 30 feet. So I don't know if you have enough movement. How much does
It's
fly
60
give?
feet of fly.
Oh,
It's
okay.
65.
So then I think you're good. That would
Yeah,
be
and I can always just be 5. I can always be 5 feet under it technically
true. Yeah.
to save a little bit of movement and just hit upwards 5.
All right. So the
See, I'm in
creature
range.
screeches angrily as it sees you can now fly.
Yep. Okay. First swing.
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay.
You're this flying
Um,
thing is weird. You're like spinning around
Yeah,
in air.
so fuck.
Ah! Alright.
Can I
Second
help? I can
swing.
help. Oh, hold on, I can help. You
Alright.
there.
Within 30 feet.
Yeah, she'd be out of range
I'm
right
too
now.
far.
She's
Oh,
up in the air.
Sadly.
But the
Thank you,
second swing will hit.
For
that-
12 if
Yeah.
it resists.
well, that would still be enough, and it falls from the sky screeching. So yeah, that would be it for the enemies. What do you all want to do?
I assume
that's
this one
fine.
just invises and runs the fuck away.
Yeah, this one is running, so it just kind of
Okay.
nopes out,
Uh,
flying invisibly into the night.
can I?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, sorry.
Well, I don't think any. Do any of you want to try to chase that one?
No.
Which one?
The
I don't
one
see
that-
an imp. No, there's no imp. It's
Yeah,
gone.
Exactly, it's invisible.
She sees
anyway.
nothing. She
She's
sees
like-
blood.
Like, meh, that's it for that. All right, so yeah, luckily it doesn't seem like the fight drew any of the guards. So what do you want to do?
Out of curiosity, all these dead things, are they actual bodies or have they like vanished away and
No,
shit?
there's just essence left over because they're all summoned.
This is the barb demon you said.
Yeah, there's essence
one.
of the barb demon there.
Can I get barb demon essence?
Yeah, so if you want to collect the essences, it's a minute per corpse, but it would be a either alchemy or arcana for these things.
I will do Arcana.
Okay.
And while the magic people do that, Keller's going to go and investigate the house, but you can focus on them first.
All right. So yeah, I guess
Um,
you or actually is Fisher gonna help investigate, or is he collecting essence?
I'm with Keller.
Okay, so you guys are kind of looking around the house.
I'm only doing the one demon. This one here.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
Well,
just
if you're
the
not, if you're not getting them all, can you at least do something to make it look like so they're not there? I don't want a guard walking around seeing a bunch of goo on the floor.
Oh, it's more just dust. It's not very noticeable.
Okay.
So yeah, you're probably fine.
Oliver, go kick the dust around.
Yeah. Oliver gives you a dirty look.
How much barb essence do I get?
Give me one moment.
I was gonna, hey Fisher, if your backstory gets us killed by creatures from fucking Castlevania, I will not be happy.
Yeah, starting to feel guilty about this.
All right. So you
This devil's
collect
Don't feel guilty.
you collect some essence from the barb devil bits or barb devil dust that's there. But yeah, looking around this workshop, it's pretty much what you saw in the vision. You
How
would
much?
see. Go
How
ahead.
much is it? Because I got shadow demon essence here, 80 module. Does that
So this
did I
is
get
40
any
Mojo.
40?
Yeah.
No,
Was it
And
in
this is a CR5 creature for the power for like crafting and stuff.
I added that to the sheet. I said to Keller about the safe that I spotted.
The
and,
chest.
Yeah, and I mentioned the location of that and said that if you can help me crack it,
All right.
we can split the
So
gear.
Keller,
Before we go,
do you have a light source in here right now, or are you in the dark?
I don't. I am probably in the dark, but it doesn't matter to me.
It.
Oh,
Well,
mm.
do you have Devil Sight? Do you ignore disadvantage for dark vision perception?
I don't have Devil Sight, but I have Skulker, which gives me basically the same thing, but for 60 feet.
Oh, can you link Skulker? Just remind me what that does. That would
Like the last two lines.
yeah. It says
Dim light doesn't, but dark vision is dim light.
oh, that's right, dark. Because is that yeah? Is that
Oh,
what it
Ultimate dark.
says? Is that what it says for dark vision? That it makes darkness look like dim light.
I think dark vision just makes you can see as in yeah, you can see as if it's dim light.
All right. Let me just double check the wording on that. I think you're right though. And dim light
Yeah,
would
dim
usually
everything just goes up a light here, so dim becomes bright and dark becomes dim.
okay.
But you can't concern color. Everything's just kind of black and white.
Yeah.
All
Bright
right.
light and in dark.
So in that case, you would notice there is a painting on the wall that looks a little strange to you. It's it's hanging in at like kind of a weird angle, which at first you don't think too much of, but there might be something else going on here. Investigation might tell you more.
Okay.
Can Fisher see this at all, or
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that Keller is pointing it out. Although I guess he doesn't have
and
to.
Have a
Fisher's
look at it first to try and figure it. 'Cause I'm guessing Fisher's quite driven at this point, so I'm like, don't do anything. Let me check stuff first, and then just wait there because I can see and I don't need to. So yeah, so 27.
I just want to check if my detect magic would have picked this up earlier.
Pick what up?
Any essence from the painting.
Oh no, the painting doesn't look magical to you, but it looks like the little nail that the painting is hanging off of. There's something a little bit off about it, and you think it might be a switch, like this painting was kind of hiding a switch.
Okay, does that investigation cover me for if there's any traps?
You didn't see any
Or any-
traps.
Okay, and I will flip the switch.
All right. So there is a clicking noise as a panel opens up nearby. And it looks like there is some sort of weapon inside. It looks like a sword. Does anyone have history or arcana?
I've got history.
I've got Arcana.
All right, so both of you would realize this isn't an ordinary sword. You would guess this was probably smithed within Avernus or one of the hells.
Okay.
Possibly magical. Actually, wait, you have detect magic. It does look magical to you.
Can I move with my mushroom?
Sure, you can pick up the mushroom. So, like I said, I don't have a map of this place, but you can see around this little workshop area where the tools are kind of on the bench. There's a chest off to the side. But I mean, I described it before, so you kind of know what's in
Out of
here.
curiosity, what is it? This like a big sword, like a two-handed sword, or is it like a rapier, or is it like a long sword?
It's a
type
long
thing?
sword.
Okay.
Is there any tools I can use, like arson's tools and smith's tools?
There are gem cutters tools here.
Okay, it's a long sword.
Take the tools. I can teach you, Arlen.
Yeah,
At least
okay.
I can do.
I want to do a full sweep around the whole house, like just. Here's the thing. Part of me is not sure if this guy's been killed in here, so part of me wants to see if like there's any signs of like a fight or a struggle, and he's been killed.
Yeah, I think we need to check these burn markings on the floor to see if it looks
Yeah.
like
All right.
Matt Hill.
What about the
was taken by
chest?
devil.
Did you do anything with it?
Yeah,
I haven't done it
Definitely.
yet. I am gonna go and open it up, but I want to like do a load of checking stuff first, so in case there's any traps or anything
I
like
think we
that.
should
And then
leave
I
picking
would
up the
like
sword until last because that's
I would like to roll cast guidance on myself, and then I will roll an investigation on the burn mark, see if I can determine what caused them or how they caused. You know,
Sure.
the distance.
Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Okay, first the guidance.
And Keller
and
is
then-
kind of snooping around at this point.
So insight plus 1d4.
Oh, it'd be investigation, not insight.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Your guess would be that maybe some of those devils you were fighting made these, because some of them did have fiery attacks. Maybe by accident
maybe-
at some point.
I think that one there was my firebolt.
Yeah, and there's one that your fireball probably made. No, that hit the demon in the face, so that did hit the demon. It just resisted the damage.
Okay. That reminds me, am I able to change meta magic things level up or
I'm not sure.
I believe
long rest?
sorcerers on level up sorcerers can exchange one spell.
Yeah, I don't know about
One
meta
minute.
magic abilities. There might be something in Tasha's if you want to research that. Because I do
Six.
use the Tasha's respec rules.
Whenever you reach a level in this class that grants ASI or feat, you can change one meta magic or replace a cantrip.
So 4 and 8. You can
Yeah,
do
4,
that.
8, 12.
Alright, so Keller, let me cut to
Sorry,
you
just
really quick.
Just to clarify, I can change it at level up.
At
You
level
You can change out
8,
spells on level up. You can change out meta magics whenever you would gain a feat.
yeah, so level 8 will be the next time you can do that. You can change one of them for another one. So Keller, yeah, I mean, you do a quick sweep of the house. There's the front area, which is where where he does his business, and there is a room off to the side with a bed in it, which you imagine is where he sleeps. And there's also kind of like a back closet area, which is where the circle of runes are, which might be where the demons were summoned or devils.
Okay. Right. So, first things first. I want to look around for traps.
Okay. Let me get back to you because that'll take a bit.
Okay.
Fisher, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm not going to open anything before we open traps, but I want to check the chest. I want to investigate the sword before picking it up, and I think we should take that with us. If anyone wants to build it, be my guest. And then, yeah, I'd like to check the bedroom, the classic check under the mattress.
Okay. So who's taking the sword?
Put it in the
So,
bag of holding.
is it a longsword?
Yeah, it's a,
Yeah, it's a
long
longsword.
sword.
Does anyone have identifier? Okay.
Does not sound like it.
Clyde might back in Candle.
Yeah, does anyone have use for a longsword? Okay, then I will take it.
Me.
No one else
Yeah.
is any.
I mean, Claw can use it, but she
She wouldn't
usually
give up her great sword.
prefers larger weapons.
Okay.
So you take that for now, or did you say you put it in the party treasury bag of holding?
I'll wield it for now, but yeah, bag of holding. Actually, I don't want it to be obvious.
Sure. Is Claw doing anything, or is she just kind of hanging out?
She's just kind of keeping watch to see if any guards or anything like walks by.
Alright, so far none have, at least not since the last one. Keller, walking around the house, you don't find any traps. You do find something up in the bedroom, though. A couple of scrolls kind of packed away off to the side, which you would realize are magical recipes.
Okay. I'll say put that in the bag of holding, and we'll deal with working out what they are later. Don't want to get caught rifling through someone's things by guards right now.
Well, I mean, you can see what they are. I'll
Oh, okay.
show you in a moment. So,
Okay.
recipe on how to craft a +1 weapon enchantment and recipe for adamantine armor. How to craft it.
Ooh.
I sense a couple of things we'll be crafting soon.
Ooh, nice, yes.
Very cool.
Okay, cool. So there's no traps that I can see. I'm gonna now do a.
One
I want to
other.
now do a.
Sorry, real quick. One other thing you find, it looks like a letter, which was addressed to Matt Hell. Give me a active perception check, because you might notice something. Okay, never mind.
No, I know it's fuck all.
Well, the
Can I
letter.
help with this?
The letter
Well,
is
before-
Or go ahead.
I can give him bountiful luck.
No, he's upstairs. This isn't the same room.
Oh.
You're
Can
all
I
in the
help
workshop.
with this?
He's or not upstairs. Sorry, he's over in the bedroom. So he's in a different room right now.
I was also going to go in there, so can I help with this investigation?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So you could be looking around as well. But yeah, the letter seems to be addressed to Matt Hell from someone known as Egthar. Arcana might tell you something here.
Does it matter that I've not got proficiency in it?
Yeah, that would matter. So you probably wouldn't know anything. But
Okay.
yeah, it looks like the letter is almost like it's from someone who is like a boss of Matt Hell, saying that they're unhappy with the progress and that they need
Okay.
to speak in person as soon as possible.
Right. That's something I'll tuck away, and I'll get them. I'll tell everyone about it later.
Okay.
I will now do a look around to see if I see any secret cubby hole. I know about the safe, but are there any other secret cubby holes, doors?
No, that's all you'd
Any-
notice with your passive, from searching the house anyway.
I'll
So,
go and
yeah.
go on. I was gonna say I'll go to the safe then and check it for traps.
So yeah, you and Fisher kind of finish your sweep of the house, and yeah, you don't find anything else. You don't think there's a cellar, as far as you know. There's no doors leading down. This might just be on solid ground.
Okay.
You said there was a
Yeah.
chest.
There is
Other
still a
than the-
locked chest, yes.
Yeah, I'll go and check that chest for traps.
Okay. No traps as far as you can tell.
Alright, cool. And then I will try and open it.
Give me a lockpicking check. DC. Ooh, no, that's not going to be enough.
No, I can't do it.
DC is
This
20.
is,
This is actually a very.
It's a good opportunity for the halfling lock here thing. Harlan, if you want to drop that.
It only works if you roll in that one.
Yeah.
Well,
So you actually don't think you can get this chest open with your current abilities, because even if you did your passive and took 2 minutes, it would be an 18.
And I can't add the psionic die to that. No,
I
I'm
don't
not.
think you can do it to a passive check now.
No.
we carry the chest and put it in the bag of holding.
Hang on, can I do it to an active, like Thieves' Tools? Because in theory, if I roll an 8, I'm good.
Yeah, if you
I'll
want to
do it
try,
to an
go for it. Maybe you'll roll an 8. Oh no, that was the
That's a
opposite
nat
of
one.
the 8.
I'm that.
So
Halfling
yeah,
luck.
you're kind
I
of
don't know if it
cursing
works.
as you're trying to get the stupid chest open, but yeah, this is a very well-made lock on this chest. Matt Hell's protecting
yeah.
something.
Can we take the chest?
Take the
Yeah.
chest, put it in the bag of holding.
Would I hear
welcome
them
it.
struggling in there to open it?
Well, you're in the room with
You-
them, I think.
You've heard Keller just like, for fuck this.
Yeah.
Come on, come on, come on.
Can I just try to break the lock?
You could try to break the chest open. It's not a padlock, it's like built into the chest. So you could try to like crack the top of the chest open. It would make some noise and it might destroy if there's something delicate inside.
She just kind of look to the group, look at the chest.
Just
But
take
yeah,
the chest.
you can
try
take
and
the
open it.
chest with you. It weighs about 50 pounds. So it's pretty heavy.
Between
Bag of
Claw and
holding.
Oliver, I think they can carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the chest, I can try and open it another day.
I just put the
Um,
chest in my pocket.
I want to go through
Strap
and
it
look
to
at
your
his
back.
bed. I want to look in his bedroom or his like room where he keeps his paperwork to see if I can find anything to who this Egthar might be, or the woman who he turned up here with,
Oh,
or
does
anything.
anyone else have Arcana training?
I do.
Give me an Arcana check. You might know
Okay.
something. All right, so now never mind. Yeah, this is a very odd name, Egthar. You've never heard of someone being called something like that.
Also, how do you spell that for my notes?
It is. Just link it.
Yeah.
Or as one G off.
Could I check the ground floor for cellar doors?
No, there was no cellar as far as you can tell.
And can I go through his anywhere he keeps paperwork and look see if I can find anything to Egthar or the woman who came here with him?
One moment. Just
The woman
putting a
that
note
came to
under
look in.
Egthar. No,
You know-
I've pretty much described everything that you've found so
Mhm.
far. There's the. Did anyone take the
Okay.
jeweler's tools?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
yeah,
Tom
I did. I
so
put it
wait,
in
who
my-
took that? Was that because you both said yeah? Was that Arlen or was that Fisher?
Oh, I got gem squares tools.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said
Uh,
yes because Arlen took them. I think it was
Yeah,
good
'cause-
for Arlen to take them. So
okay, so Arlen has
yeah,
them.
'cause- yeah. Fisher said he was going to train me in them.
All right. So you pretty much searched everywhere at this point. You don't think there's anything else of value in here, other
Okay.
than the chest, of course. Oh, there is also that circle of runes in the closet back there.
Have you
yeah, can I
checked his
investigate
shoes,
that?
Taylor? Have you checked his shoes?
What do you mean checked his shoes?
I love the older generation used to put valuable stuff in their shoes. So they wouldn't lose
Alright.
them.
I'll check his shoes.
No, there's nothing of note in the shoes.
Do you two
Okay,
magic guys want to go check out the runes circle in the back?
Oh, ruins. Yes, I will go and see them immediately.
What about Fisher? Did you say you were gonna go
Yeah.
look at those?
I'm coming, but I'm letting Arlen do all the work because I'm extremely stupid and I don't understand this stuff.
You're interested in what?
He said he's
I'm
completely
coming as
stupid.
well,
Oh,
but I'm
you're.
going to let
Yeah.
Arlen do the investigating.
I
Yeah,
see.
That's why he's a black magic user.
He's not into the book magic. He's more into the charisma
He's
magic.
practical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I pay for the art.
exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, you would see this circle of runes back here. Actually, Matt Hell, or Fisher. I'm getting you guys mixed up. Give me an intelligence check with proficiency.
Whilst proficiency would be 3, but I'm not proficient in it, so
Well, you'd still. I'll give you proficiency for this because you'd have some knowledge based on what you are. So 13, and go ahead, Arlen, or you did a 9. Oh, sorry, roll again. Roll an Arcana check.
Arcana. Dice gods don't fail me now.
All right. So you don't recognize these, Arlen, but Fisher,
God damn it.
being a warlock, you actually have seen things like this before. As you kind of expected, these are summoning runes. You would guess that they were used to summon demons and or devils, the devils you fought, and kind of trap them here while he was like gaining control of them.
Can the ruin circle be broken?
So yeah, if you tell Arlen this, you would know that you can probably disrupt it and maybe even gain some arcane components from it if you want to destroy it.
I think I. What do you think, Fisher?
There doesn't seem to be any method of us being able to use this to contact Matt Hell, does there?
So let's
No,
destroy it then.
this is more to summon things than to contact people.
Yes, a danger.
If
Can I
you
see if the sword that I'm carrying resonates at all in this area?
so you bring out the sword, and when you put it towards the circle, you would see small flames start to appear on it.
Ooh.
Give me an
The sword
Arcana
itself
check.
is flaming.
You might know something here. Again, with proficiency.
That's gonna be a 12.
Aha!
9, 12. All right. So you both think that this piece of like area here where the circle of runes are, you think it might be somehow connected to the hells, which is what's causing the sword to react this way. Because you do know that certain swords forged in the hells will become fiery when they re-enter the hells. When someone
So do you
goes
think we
there.
should? So do you think we should destroy this rune circle? I do.
This a potential portal to the hells, then
You also know you
yes.
could probably use it to summon devils with the right
Yeah.
magic.
Do I get
Um,
the Del Boy back?
Well, you can summon
whilst,
Doughboy
whilst I'm
anyway.
here, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, if I get a free use of 5 familiar, then yeah, but I don't have the spell slots right now.
I say we destroy it. Just
Can't think of a purpose. I don't want to be summoning any devils right now. I think we've had plenty.
All right, so you
Yeah.
want to try to disrupt it and gather some
Yeah.
arcane?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
Yeah.
that.
So give me. Let's see. Yeah, I guess give me an Arcana check.
Again. Okay. Arcana.
All right, so Arlen and Fisher work together, and Arlen is able to disrupt the circle, giving you 150 Maho worth of arcane components.
Oh.
Who's taking that?
I will.
All right, are you okay
Should
with
I add
that,
them?
Fisher?
Should I add them to our to the store? Or?
You can put them in the treasury, or someone can take them to their inventory.
Oh, it's pretty much treasure then. We'll split between us there.
All right, so yeah,
Cool.
just add it to the treasury then. Anything else you're doing here? At this point, insight might tell you something. Any of you? Or I guess, Keller, did you tell them about that letter you found? I guess you did, from Egthar.
Yep.
So yeah, your guess would be that maybe that is why, and I mean, you guys probably came up with this anyway, but that might be why Matt Hell isn't here. Maybe he decided to go meet with whoever this was when he got this letter. So he's
Matt
closed the
Hill.
shop.
So you're saying that Matt Hill is going to meet Ekthar?
That's probably why he closed the shop a couple of days ago. He may have been summoned by whoever his master was.
And it was Ekthar that seemed to be his master.
At least the way that the letter is, the missive is kind of worded would make you think he's someone of authority over Matt Hell.
Okay. Is there some way that we can cover our tracks here?
Oh,
And spin
sorry, real quick. You might notice something in reading this letter. If you had survival, because there's some talk about where he was supposed to meet him.
Oliver's got survival. I think so does Claw.
Alright, so yeah, if you
Oh,
guys want, you
shit.
could do a check on that.
Claw, come
Yeah,
out.
I also have survival. So if you mentioned it out loud, I probably would have heard.
Alright, so
Apologies.
go ahead and
My pho-
go ahead, yeah.
I would say my phone went. Did I miss? What did I miss?
Nothing. They're just doing some survival checks. Go ahead, Claw.
Oh, that would have been just
11.
neutral, so 11.
So Oliver is you're both kind of looking at where he is asked to meet him, and Oliver would say, this sounds like we're around the area where one of the knoll camps is." And he takes out his map, and he would say, "Yeah, I think this is up north here on this note where the Deep Fang are." I wonder if this
One
has
of the
something to do with the Knoll tribes.
One of the Fangs, one of the aggressive ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you did. Did they give you information on which ones were aggressive?
Yeah, they
Yeah, they
did.
did. That's why I'm asking. I'm actually
Okay.
asking in character.
Let me see if I have that in my notes. Who the aggressive ones were?
Deep Fang, Blood Claw, and the One Eyes. No, it was it was the One Eye, Blood Claw, and Deep Fang.
Yeah. So
I think
the Deep Fang, yeah, they were one of the aggressive tribes. And he would say, "Wonder if this Egthar has something to do with those gnolls. What the relationship would be."
possibly.
Well, they're
The
summoning
knoll.
devils and demons, but they're summoning demons, aren't they?
Yeah, and some of those gnolls seem pretty demonic when we were fighting them, so.
He says, "Yeah, maybe it's something to do with summoning outsiders." Um,
There's
I
one
guess,
other thing as well that I
yeah,
wanted to check. The barbed devil knew my name.
yeah, it's true.
He
The
spoke
Barb
Infernal
Devil
to me.
seemed to identify you. Oh yeah, because you're the only one that knew that, because no one else spoke Infernal.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to communicate during the fight, but the barbed devil addressed me by name, which means that Matt Hell, or whoever summoned these devils, but it was probably Matt Hell to guard the place, knows who I am, which
Here's the thing
means
that go on.
he is plagiarizing.
But here's the thing that doesn't make sense. If he's meeting them outside the Gnoll camps, and we assume that the aggressive Gnolls are in cahoots with that whatever his name is, person, he's
Inogo.
not. Inago. He's
Oh,
not a
no.
devil. He's a demon.
Yeah, this is the problem. And devils and demons aren't the best of friends.
No, in fact, they usually very much dislike each other.
So why is someone summoning devils who's connected to potentially demons?
It's a good question.
Well,
There's two sides of the war.
I'm
Well,
guessing
how about we get out of here before the guards come back and catch us in his house?
Oliver nods.
Indeed.
He says, "And I'm guessing we're gonna stick our nose in this too."
Indeed. So there's no sign of a struggle being happening here.
No, it looks pretty normal, like it's clean and like nothing's broken or knocked over. So you don't think the devils attacked Matt Hell?
Okay. I'm gonna take one of his shoes as we head out.
Just steal a shoe. All right, you take one of Matt
Yeah.
Hell's slippers, I'll say.
I thought you wanted to start a fire, Arlen.
No, I said actually, I don't purposely start a fire. It just happened under an accident.
Okay. Just take a shoe then.
Just
So
take
an
your
accident
shoes.
or an accident?
An accident.
Quotation marks.
Wasn't-
Yeah.
All
Where's
right.
where's the quotes?
All right. So
I never
you
mean.
or
I never mean to start. I never
you-
mean to start the fire. I just don't finish it.
you try to quietly sneak away. Give me stealth checks as you make your way away from the house, kind of closing everything up.
Let's go.
Oh,
Loud ass clinking armor.
I thought Fisher was in stealth mode. Not super
how do you
stealthy.
mean?
All right, so I just need Keller and
Oh, stealth check.
Oscar. Or Oliver.
Alright, cool. And all of this is just straight decks.
Oh. So luckily, Keller and Oliver sort of cover for the rest of you. And you are able to make your way out of here quietly before any of the guards catch on to things. And this is probably where we would have to end because we are at 2 o'clock or later for you guys. So give me MVP votes.
Let's where's that again?
Just in chat /W space GM space player name that you're voting for.
It's like that without the parentheses.
Hmm.
All right. Oh, it's a 4-way tie. Wow. All right, each of you give me D20 rolls.
Oh, just everyone?
Yeah. It's a
We all vote for
4-way
each other.
tie. Look at these
So
amazing rolls
So
here.
low. 3,
3,
4,
4,
and a 5.
5.
Arlen, just roll a 6. Or not. Or Keller, roll a 6.
Hold on a second. Hang on.
Or a 2.
Yeah,
Pick
then
one
you
of
rolling
want
a D20.
straight.
Am I rolling a D20?
Yeah,
Yeah, D20.
Yeah.
We just all rolled like garbage.
Oh, no.
All right, Gara with the whopping 5, you are MVP. Congrats. So you
Oh.
are inspired if you weren't already.
That was
Yeah, good game,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.
that was
Cheers. It was worth the wait. It was a great session. Thanks for it.
Yeah, we'll go looking into the connection, or I don't know, maybe exploring the Knoll or the Knoll tribes. Up to you guys. Just let me know next time what we're doing. If you want to
I
be
will-
nice, let me know in the chat before next time so I can plan easier.
So we're gonna go build a boat. That's what we're doing. next
We'll
mission.
just yeah,
I just want to be a
option
pirate now,
option
actually.
Z. We're
Like-
gonna start a pirate campaign on
Yep.
this
Yeah,
river.
We're gonna go find the nearest train track and just start tearing up the rails.
Yeah.
So Raven, just mark me down as off next week, just in case. And
All right. Well,
just
I mean, when you find out, just mark it in the attendance area.
Right.
Let everyone know.
will do.
Catch you all next week.
Yeah. See
Have
you
a good
next time.
one.
Doodles.
I go pass out for the next 2 days. Good night.
All right. Night.
Night night.